Right. There
And
we
there
go.
We're live. The first round of 3 possible matches. We're gonna have the finals TGH versus vlackSR. And this is the best of 3, so the runner who wants to take this home gotta win 2 matches. And getting perfect sync right off the bat. And yeah, what can we say about that? This is no scoop.
Yeah, so I'll do my spiel on it again in case you've never seen this, in case you missed the first match. So, no squoob is the category. This is any percent with 3 restrictions. You're not allowed to save and quit, you're not allowed to wrong warp, and you're not allowed to go out of bounds. The out of bounds one is kind of the interesting discussion because of how we define it. So you cannot do things like Blano skip or, as Tej showed off, Rooster skip. No, sir, not this time. Both players getting quick sword. I imagine we're going to see a lot of sync during this.
Oh yeah, like the first one thing will be Moblin skip. This is gonna be the first thing that will probably set our runners apart. Like, I cannot overstate that. I cannot like stretch this enough. Both runners got really consistent execution. They're really top notch at this game.
Indeed, this will be interesting to see. You're going to see amazing menuing, amazing movement. This is going to be a good watch, and you get to see at minimum 2 matches of it. Honestly, I expect to see all 3. I think there's a good chance of that.
I hope we're gonna have that.
Who doesn't want more no squoob in their life? So I imagine we're not going to explain every little detail of the runs as we just did. However, if you're still new to this, if maybe, as I mentioned, you missed the earlier matches, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in chat, and we will get to them. We will still be explaining most of what's going on, but we'll probably skip some of the minor details.
Yeah, well, this LED X races have been on speed gaming for the last 2 months, so like the frequent speed gaming viewers should be probably familiar with the speed run right now. Anyway, we're coming up to the first one, big thing, Moblin skip, so we're excited to see how the RNG treats our runners right here.
The first, they're grabbing the mushroom.
Both going for mushroom strat. High five right there.
And now the RNG Moblin skip.
Yo, nice backup strats by both runners, both getting somewhat semi-optimal RNG, both getting the owl skip and equipping the mushroom. They're gonna need that later to do some, I don't know actually how we call it, you know, like mushroom pit walking, you could say. Like there's a, well, not that minor glitch though, but there's a glitch that allows you, once you stand over a pit, you can still struggle around a little bit before the pit pulls you in. And you can use those frames to activate the mushroom, which actually pulls you over the pit and lets you stand below the pit. We're going to see that in a few, but first we're going to enter that shop right here.
Yeah, we're skipping trendy game. Part of the mushroom route is we don't need to get powder from there. We'll be getting it later from the witch. So that's where part of the time save comes in.
And we can already see the little things like the shopkeeper RNG putting TGH like maybe ahead by 30 frames or so. Missing the quick buy though. And we also can see the first difference right here. Vlack is using a rather offensive strat where you skip one of the bomb buy. So him being ahead is not like because of good RNG. He just skipped 10 bombs, which puts him ahead by 5-ish seconds right now, but he's got to do some different strats later in the run to save some bombs, because like Teach got 10 more bombs than Black right now in his inventory. So that's going to make some route differences later in the run.
Indeed, and our bomb and arrow counts both are very tight throughout the entire run. So, ooh, there's a nice pit walk there.
The mushroom pit walk, not as RNG as it is without the mushroom. So that's what you saw by both players right here. That was the mushroom strats on the pits, and you can also see some differences here. Black is going through the dungeon with the bow. Also quite offensive strat where you waste some arrows early in the run, and T just going to do some more safer strats where you like where you're not as dependent on your arrow count as Black is right now.
So again, because we have the mushroom, our routes through Dungeon 1 are very different. We're not going to go to that left side early on. We're not going to the right side and grab the key, because we're going to skip that room on the way back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Perfect quick kill there by Teach with a spiky beetles.
Indeed.
Black was also able to finish them off pretty quickly with his bow and arrow equipped. And we saw him having a little trouble there with his menu.
Indeed, still getting through it rather quickly. Like, he knew, okay, there's a mistake here, and he still fixed it, like, super quick. So it's good being able to recognize that.
Yeah.
And now, for the mushroom strats, flip into that wall and we can super jump.
So that is again the mushroom physics. It just pushes you down to the bottom of the pit, and actually so far that it lets you stand on the wall there by 1 pixel, and that enables you to do a super jump to do that weird stuff you just saw. It's a super risky strat in my opinion, and it's still fairly new. But yeah, both of these players gonna do some high risk, high reward strats throughout all of the run. So we're gonna see more of that.
As we mentioned, these are 2 very good players, and it's going to show. Oh, Black missing a hit on Moldorm there.
He got the spin slash, but got overall a little more trouble. So, like, Teach only being like 2 to 3 seconds behind. So Black having a little bit more trouble overall so far. Both runners gonna play super offensively, and yeah, like this can be going back and forth throughout the run.
Indeed. So now we're going to see pardon my throat there. We're going to see another route difference. Now at this point, both players have the mushroom, but don't have the powder. So rather than going straight to Bow Wow, they're going to take a detour to the Witch's Hut, turn in that mushroom, and receive powder, which we need for the beginning of D2.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. There's only that one dungeon where we need the powder, and it's really just to light up the 2 torches at the entrance of Dungeon 2, so speedrunners out there, glitch hunters out there, if you find the Dungeon 2 powder skip, then this run is gonna also save at least half a minute, I guess.
You know, now I'm getting ideas in my head. Have probably all been tried.
Yeah. We can also see, like, Black was missing a few enemies right here, you know? Like, they need to kill some enemies to get that pop routing going, the piece of power routing. And we got almost sync again. So, Black being lower on bombs, but a bit behind, though.
Half a second mushroom. Nice.
Yeah. Both runners not getting the frame perfect jump. You can jump there down in the cutscene, it's frame perfect. And its timing is really odd, but doesn't save that much, maybe like 10 frames or so. But it's a nice little trick if you can get it. Both skipping the hard piece of shame first time. And entering Moblin Cave.
I've barely seen that heart piece get picked up lately, but I feel like I've been getting it more often than not.
It's a pain, yeah. That's the reason it's called the hard piece of shame.
So both players dispatching the Moblin King probably with ease.
Yeah, you really want to get a consistent 2-cycle on this guy.
It's
like
harder than it looks.
It kind of is, yeah. I remember starting this game, I was like, oh yeah, 2-cycle, no problem. But then, yeah, like, it takes some practice like everything does. Like, they guys make it look very easy, but still, these guys probably finished or attempted at least 2,000 to 3,000 runs, you could say. Probably not finished 2,000 to 3,000 runs, but I guess I'm not over-exaggerating if I say both runners did at least attempt 2,000 to 3,000 runs. And yeah, like the experience you gain from those many runs, that is what makes you such a consistent runner with LADX, even with bad RNG like we see on TGH's screen right there.
Really? He faked
Screwing him over.
But Black having no issues, getting not quite minutes to eat, but very quick.
Having a bit of a late piece of power there, still getting it. and both runners want to pick up a piece of power and use that to open up their menu so they can skip the piece of power text that shows up when once you pick up the power up. And yeah, like just flawless play, flawless showcase by both runners here how you do this with a piece of power in Dungeon 2.
I think it's probably better to have the piece of power drop an enemy like it did for Black than early, because you don't want to risk that dropping outside of the D2.
Yeah, also Vlack doing his arrow strats in Dungeon 1, like this doesn't give him the opportunity to kill a bit more enemies like Teach was able to, because he was using the sword in Dungeon 1. And that's also a reason why Black wants to kill some more enemies on his way to D2. I'm glad he still got the piece of power where he wants it.
And now, more RNG coming up in that lovely room that we all like to get the Nightmare Key. I think that's probably what we're going to talk about a lot during this run, is just all the RNG. That's really what's going to make it.
Yeah, this room still gives me nightmares. This room was actually the reason for me screwing up my run at GDQ. So I'm still having nightmares about that room.
Ooh, Teach struggling a little bit, but still getting it in one go.
Still very well executed right there.
And also, I have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't mess anything up at GDQ. Don't worry about it.
But we can see, like, the good RNG of Vlack while entering Dungeon 2 just puts him ahead by, like, maybe 10-ish seconds. And that one was totally on Bow Wow.
And you really can't do much about that. Bow Wow eats what he wants to eat, no matter what you do. You can manipulate him a little bit, but in cases like that, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. And we have to take a quick look on the bomb count. You just saw Vlack having 8 bombs. On the other hand, Teach will have 18 bombs after that quick kill. So even though Vlack is ahead, we have to remember he's still 1 bomb pickup short. So he's gonna be very careful later in the run where you do some bomb triggers and stuff.
I'm very curious where he'll save those bombs, because I've only seen this run a handful of times from him, and I haven't paid attention to that.
I guess he skips some bomb triggers and does some different strats on the anglerfish. But still, both runners finishing sub 12:30. That's a really good pace for a race. Like both of those runners getting very consistent sub 12:30s for Dungeon 2. And yeah, that just shows how good they are with playing this game.
But now, we have those dreaded 3 letters coming up. RNG. How are they going to do a little skip? And mind you, we call it RNG. In reality, there's no RNG to it. It's all about your timing plus the global framework. But we like to call it RNG.
Yeah, like, they're gonna abuse the pit physics in LADX. It's the same with the mushroom there. We can see Vlack getting a second try Villa skip, which is very good. Wanna see how Teach does. Also getting a very good Villa skip third try. So that's gonna put Vlack another 2 seconds ahead. Does the Villa escape, nice.
Fun fact, if you grab that, what looks like the golden leaf was actually the key, if you grab that and you transition before the text box, you are soft locked. I don't think I've actually seen anyone do that.
Yeah, this run has its soft locks throughout all of it. You know, like, we're gonna have Walrus skip later in the run, another soft lock potential. We've got 2 soft lock potential soft locks in Dungeon 3, so like, it looks fun and all, but if you're gonna try speedrun this game, you're gonna be frustrated at first, I guess, because there's definitely some soft lock potential in the run.
The Dongo skip especially was the worst for me when I started.
Oh yeah. So. It's like, it has very precise execution there.
One thing I would like to bring up, if anyone is interested in learning this game, we do have a great community as well as a lot of resources available. Just check out on our resource section on srcspeedrun.com. You can find links to the Discord, links to guides. And as I said, we're willing to answer any questions you may have. Black picking up his piece of power right on cue, as is TGH. No issues with the Dongo skip number 1.
Yeah, Black avoiding the acorn there. No, it was Teach, sorry. And yeah, both runners getting the most important, probably most important item throughout the speedrun, which are the Pegasus boots. And like you can see, like they act a little differently from Pegasus boots in other LEDX, in other Zelda games. Like you can sort of pre-buffer the dash before it goes off and still move freely once the dash goes off. So like that makes up for some nice movement there.
Indeed, and you see the players using the boots as often as they can throughout the run. However, you do want to make sure if you use it, you're going to get your money's worth out of it. You don't want to equip it for one screen and then have to menu once again to get rid of it for some reason. So, part of that menu optimization that we've talked about.
Yeah. Black going on for the going in to the quick kill. Oh, missing that one last hit. And let's see how Teach does. Flawless fight by Teach right there. But still Black being somewhat, you know, like maybe 5 seconds ahead, I would say.
Yeah, you're right. I just timed it between 5 and 6.
But still, like, that was a 16:30 dungeon free. Like, if I get this time in a speed run, I'm going crazy every time because it's really a really good pace for a speed run at that point of the run. Gonna see if Teach is going for that bomb trigger. Not getting it though. Like Teach was attempting to bomb trigger that owl you see on Teach's screen right there. You can bomb trigger there, and the owl animation to skip the owl animation.
When you see Vlack not even going for it, that's part of he now needs to conserve bombs.
And
because he only got that one pickup early on.
That's
so
definitely
that, right that actually saves him 2 bombs. If he had gotten the trigger, he would have had to use 2 bombs.
Yeah, like the bomb trigger Teach went for is a high risk, high reward strat. Not high risk, high reward. Sorry, high risk, low reward, because it's very hard to execute. You gotta like, you gotta
those left
prepare.
Right.
You gotta prepare for the subpixels. You gotta prepare your subpixels, and then you gotta do some frame perfect inputs. It's not easy.
The left to right transition bomb triggers are more difficult than the up down. It does take extra time to do. And you see slight differences here in Walrus Skip.
Yeah, like Black is going for a more riskier strat, I would say, which I guess most of the time only takes one menu. Getting it though, as well as Teach should be having no problem. Soft lock free.
I always breathe a sigh of relief after that.
Oh yeah, like you don't want to soft lock in that cutscene because it's like you can't even save and quit to go out of that cutscene because the race rules allow to have a backup save file if you really soft lock at water skip, because it's like one of the more crucial, one of the more brutal soft locks, you gotta say.
And as we discussed, neither player has a save file available for that. So if they were the soft lock, they'd have to start again from the shop, actually. And that would be GG at that point.
Yeah, because at the shop, that was the last time you did a save and quit. Maybe some players don't even save and quit there because they'd like to choose the lowest option, which allegedly saves a few frames. But that's task talking right there.
Right, on our way to Dungeon 3, and we're almost 20 minutes in, and these players are still only seconds apart.
Oh yeah, like still a 5-second lead by vlackSR right here. I guess it's still the 5 seconds he gained from entering Dungeon 2, just because Teach had not that good Power RNG with entering Dungeon 2. And yeah, like with both runners having perfect execution with movement and everything.
I believe there's not really much RNG we're dealing with at this point. You could, I suppose, have a runner fail obstacle skip, which isn't really RNG. But at this point, I think it's going to come down to the next difference we see is Dungeon 5 Piece of Power. Whether or not they get it early, which, with these players, I don't expect it, but it's possible.
Yeah, like, if you plan your kill route properly, then it's very unlikely that you get a early piece of power drop. Also, if your movement route throughout the run is sort of consistent, you shouldn't be fearing the early pop too much.
And that's a big word for this, is consistency. If you do the same thing every time, if you do the same movement, you're able to manipulate what Bow Wow is eating. I mean, once in a while he might have something extra. For the most part, you know, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And you're able to keep track. You should only be maybe one off and be able to account for that.
But it can still screw you over entirely, so like you can play perfectly and you can just say no.
So, looking at Black splits, he's only about 10 seconds behind his PB, so that's pretty good timing.
Oh, yeah.
With players making their way through the beginning of Dungeon 4, as we've mentioned before, we're only going to do half of it this trip, and we'll be coming back later after D6 to finish it off.
Both runners going to perform some precise jumps there to get one of the small keys, and
that jump was so dumb.
Oh yeah, dumb jump number 1.
Oh,
and
Black in the pit.
Having some trouble there. I guess he wasn't properly clipped. And it's just like
oh,
that.
No.
He just taking the lead. Oh my god, failing at the second. And oh my god, failing at the 3rd time. Ooh, shit.
This is like new.
This is really, really unfortunate. This is... I don't know what's happening. He seems to be really, really, really mad at this point.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen this before.
Oh, screw that. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
That is bad. That's a death.
Taking the death out of frustration.
Indeed. Now, with tournament rules, if you do die, in this case, it's kind of a death warp. You're able to return back to the room that you died in the Proceed. That's not going to be an issue with this, as he has to go back to that room anyway.
Not getting it, though. That's very, very curious right there.
I'm almost wondering...
Like, you have to clip at the top wall, and then...
This is... I have not
seems to be an invisible wall.
This before.
Yeah, or maybe controller issues. We're not sure at this point. This is really, really unfortunate for Black. I'm really curious what's happening. Like, you have to jump and then hold the up button.
Yeah, this isn't a jump that typically anyone struggles with, which is why it's so eye-raising.
Yeah, like, I'm also really curious.
I'm wondering at this point right now if he'd have better luck trying to jump. Wow. He gets it there. I don't even think he used boots that time, but then he dies.
Oh my god, this is really, really unfortunate what we're seeing right here.
This is not how you want to see the race have a difference.
Oh, definitely not. Like, both runners going for high-risk strats all throughout the run. This is something that can happen, so now he's back on track. But lost a really good amount of time right there.
That is unfortunate. Now, I mean, there's still plenty of RNG to go, but I think at this point, for Black to catch up, we'd have to have probably issues with Rooster Skip TGH.
Yeah, or maybe some really bad Windfish Egg RNG. You know, like, we have had races where just Windfish Egg was trolling Teach a lot and he got 14 blue balls, so that still can happen. Though, honestly, we have to say it's a bit unlikely, but we never know what's going to happen. So Black has to do some catching up at this point, definitely.
Yes. Hopefully that will be the last execution issue we see, and hopefully it's not a long-term thing such as a controller issue.
Oh yeah, like we gotta ask him later. I can't really believe that this was like a blackout. You know, like Black also has been doing so many runs lately. Like his consistency has been also really very, 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 very good.
Black apparently plays on keyboard.
Actually, plays on keyboard. I think he plays with a PlayStation 3 controller, if I recall correctly. I asked him once, but he plays on emulator with a like, I don't know how you call it, third-party gamepad with a USB plugged in over USB.
Now, where my mind's going, if you're TGH, I know in the past he watches these streams to see how he's doing compared to others, which, because this isn't a randomizer, is not an issue. You have to wonder if he knows that Black has had issues, could he be convinced to play it a bit safe later on, such as for Rooster Skip? Perhaps buff for it.
But he's gonna go all in either way, like we saw with the thing Teach just did, the Nightmare Key skip. You know, like you can skip getting the hook shot entirely for that long jump right there. He got it only third try. Probably lost him maybe 4 to 5 seconds, but he's still gonna go all in.
And another issue this now causes Black is his piece of power count is now completely off and reset on death. So right now he's going through D5 without a piece of power.
Knowing the backup strats though, like he has been speedrunning other LEDX categories where you finish D5 without the piece of power, so he's gonna do fine, though of course the double damage and the missing movement speed is not gonna be too good.
And both players down to 2 hearts. Don't know if that'll become an issue for them. With TGH, you still need to take at minimum 1 more hit to get rid of a piece of power, so that'll be another half heart down. If he does not collect any, could possibly turn into an issue.
There are some really tight jumps also at the end of Dungeon 5, so it can become an issue. Like runs have had to be lost on a low hard count in Dungeon 5, so it's not uncommon to see even good runners pick up the ferry in Dungeon 4 to go into D5 with a full hard count.
Oh my god, TGH down to a half heart, Black down to a heart.
He really has to take care. He's got a jump coming up. Going all in on it. Oh my god, Teach.
Now you just gotta be careful of wall snake. I don't think Teach wants to hold anything back. Now Black, nice. I was about to say he might go ahead and hop on that Goomba. Jumping on a Goomba's head is a guaranteed heart drop.
He's not taking any more chances in that race. Having also a little bit of menu issues, but going for the jump and getting it first try, that's really great play right there. Oh my god, there, my heart just stopped right there. Like the bottom right pattern for the second wall snake is so precise and you can so easily get hit. So Teach could have just very easily died right there. Like it didn't look like it, maybe because he was pulling it off perfectly like he always does. That guy, man. But he could have easily died right there, and then we would have had neck on neck again, because it takes really quite the walk to go back to the boss from the start of Dungeon 5.
He's just not leaving anything on the table.
Yeah, like that's the thing with these runners. They going all in all the time. That's how they get these great times on the leaderboards. Just super risky strats all the time.
Indeed. When you're a high-level runner, especially with a time like that, you have to go for every little time save you can. Which is why we see some of the strats done that we see.
Black getting the Disclude Pixel.
I did not know that was named after him.
Yeah, obviously he discovered it. Actually, I didn't care about that for a long time because I was like, oh my god, my strat can't be that slower. And then he actually timed it, and turns out my strat was 20 frames slower. So the Disco Pixel is still the fastest strat.
20 frames. Not even a full second. So Black just working on finishing off Dungeon 5. As I mentioned, I'll be quite a ways behind. Certainly not out of the race, but it will be a struggle to catch up.
Teach going for his boot strats.
Not doing the quick version of that I saw him do the last time. Either way, it's still done very quickly.
Still a consistent 2-cycle. Like, I remember where Teach had World Recce going for a 3-cycle on the Almost Night there. And we like to call that Puss in Boots. Oh my god, Black also getting the bad pattern, having 3 hearts though, so...
oh no, was that Piece of Power or Guardian Acorn Teach just picked up? I assume Guardian Acorn. Now, not the biggest time loss in the world, but it does take about 2 to 3 seconds to pick up the item, open up your save and quit menu, and skip the text. And we appear to have lost Bamboo. So according to the chat, about a 2.5 minute difference between these players. That is unfortunate. Let's see if Teach can get the cutscene eaten by Bow Wow. Bow Wow cooperating for a change. And Piece of Power right where Tej wants it. So you're looking at 2 of the very few players that route in Piece of Power in Dungeon 6 I'm aware of, Bamboo being another. Now you get more of that glorious Piece of Power music. And now we've acquired our level 2 Power Bracelet, meaning, as we've mentioned before, after the conclusion of this dungeon, we can now go ahead and finish off 4. Welcome back, Bamboo.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. My Discord suddenly closed.
Still better than Skype. He's doing a little bit of a moonwalk showing off. Why not?
Yeah.
At this point, you have time to kill. Not quite enough time to route in a bathroom break, unfortunately.
Yeah, like, I'm also super surprised. Teach having really good RNG here and also playing it perfectly with that Piece of Power routing. Like, that's just how Teach does it.
I almost feel like there's not all that much to talk about, because we just discussed everything. That is a struggle of having 2 back-to-back matches. Fun fact, because I didn't mention it last time, to open that chest, you have to throw a pot at it. I don't think that works at any other chest, but you are required to for that.
That's like really the only chest. And people, like, when you start running this game, you naturally think, oh, that's like a glitch or something, but actually that's vanilla in the game.
And there's Black's Piece of Power.
Jesus, that's really, really unfortunate. Like,
1 enemy early.
Black not being too good with the jumps this evening. Like, that's another high risk, low reward strat. That jump right there. Like, you could do the Zorlax jump. Shoutouts to our old Grandmaster Zorlax who like to drop in that pit every once in a while. I guess it's just like probably he has given up hope a little bit at that point because he knows who's he's running against. Also, of course, that Piece of Power drop early right in front of D6, that's quite unfortunate.
I do wonder if he was trying to route that back in. I assume he was.
Oh, I think so, yeah. Like, it's just after you did a few speedruns, you kind of, you're not counting along, but you kind of have a feeling where your piece of power counter must be, you know, just because of the countless attempts you did with running this game.
Now let's take a look at bomb counts again. TGH is going to be at 21 at the end of this fight. Black currently at, I believe, was it 9? Yeah, he's at 9. He still has a bomb pickup he'll be grabbing, but that's still a huge difference.
Oh, yeah,
I think at this point, it's not going to be an issue as long as he doesn't waste any bombs. He'll still have enough to bomb trigger the final boss.
Oh yeah, that's the thing with vlackSR. Like, it's very tight, but as long as you don't waste any bombs, like Teach just was allowed to do so, showing off the bomb glitch on picking up the instrument. That's a very funny trick right there.
And the person asking about how many horse heads for Tej, I believe that was 9, if I counted correctly.
Oh, bad RNG right there.
Tej getting a bomb trigger on the owl.
Yeah, that one is a little bit easier because you only have to, like, quote-unquote, only have to frame perfectly input, down, and bombs. So, Black is gonna skip that bomb trigger, though. Which is part of the route he's choosing throughout this dungeon.
And unfortunately, not getting a tech skip there.
The tech skip?
On the key.
Oh yeah, like yeah, like it's a thing. If you mess up something that majorly, it's really hard to, you know, get back into the groove, get back into the run.
At this point, you really just need to focus on what's coming up and not worry about whatever's in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's see how his horse head RNG will go. First try, easy peasy every time.
That's gotta feel a bit good.
At least some consolation for vlackSR right here.
That's the game saying, hey, you're not out of it yet, keep going.
Oh yeah. And still, statistically speaking, of course, it's a bit unlikely, but still, anything can happen in Windfish Egg. Anything can happen still with Rooster Skip and whatnot. We're only halfway through this dungeon, so we can see also a difference here with the anglefish fight. Teach pulling off the perfect anglefish strats. That's how you're supposed to do this. The spin slash.
As I mentioned before, you want to be sure not to fire those bomb arrows too quick, or else you have what happened in the last match. You'll just have a arrow go flying and then a bomb goes sinking right behind.
Guilty.
I honestly think we've all done that at one.
Yeah, like, it's the thing, like, Teach is a really consistent speedrunner because he's, like, I guess he's really good at staying focused on the run. That's just his thing, you know, like, I don't know how he does it with streaming and reading chat and whatnot, but, like, I guess he knows, like, when it's time to focus, he's really focused, and his execution is just so precise. It's a gift he has. You can definitely say that.
Now making our way over to Rooster Skip, and we'll see what Tej decides to do. As you mentioned earlier, he'll probably go all out.
Skipping the acorn right there. That was a close one.
You don't want to grab that, as we mentioned. It's not the end of the world, but it does cost you a couple seconds in picking it up and then having to open your save and quit menu to skip the attack. How close is TGH to PB? The honest answer is I do not know.
I very actually know it. He's currently 29 seconds behind his PB/World Recce. Because in his PB/World Recce, he had a 35:01 Dungeon 6.
I can't believe you remember that.
It's just like when you compare speedruns and whatnot, you know. I don't remember every one of his splits, but you know, like some of the end times. Coming up on Rooster Skip right there, so let's see if the tables will turn.
Indeed.
Oh, getting awfully close to that pit. And buffering it, that's the wise choice. The right choice there. And going for the second jump, getting it unbuffered. Nice.
Not the cleanest, but it works. It's first try, and that's the important part.
Yeah. Not a not Rooster Skip with World Recce potential, but definitely the right and wise choice in a race context. Still getting a sub 40 Rooster Skip, which is just still brilliant for a race.
So Black not using any bomb arrows on anglerfish. I don't know if that's his normal route.
Oh, he definitely is. Yeah, I've been watching a few of his runs, so that's definitely how he does it. It saves 2 bombs, and he's gonna need those 2 bombs because he skipped the 1 bomb by early in the run.
Just tuning in, why is Black so far behind? Struggles with a jump in Dungeon 4. We're not sure if it was
Dump jump number 2.
Or dump jump 1.5.
1.5.
If we gotta give it a name.
Yeah, like he was. I'm quite sure he was having some control issues right there.
Because that is not. If you've never seen these runners, that is not at all like Black. So it's very surprising. And yes, this is the first in a best of 3, which is good news for Black because he can always make up ground on the next 2 races.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like TGH has been having good RNG overall. Also being, I don't know, somewhat lucky, but also of course well played on that piece of power in Dungeon 6. But there's still stuff that can happen.
I admit, TGH in Dungeon 7 right now, I would say this is my favorite dungeon in the run.
Oh
I just love how much it's broken.
I loved it when I was playing on emulator, but on console, I don't know, it's a bit weird. You gotta do some frame perfect inputs if you do other bomb tricks on screen transitions like you just saw on TGH's screen. And putting the focus on black screen right here again, coming up on Rooster Skip.
Slightly different strats. He does not boots in.
Yes, he always said it would be easier for him to do it that way. And oh my god, that was so freaking close.
He's gotta feel good after that.
Oh yeah.
That right there, I think in any run, is a confidence booster when you get that first try.
Oh yeah, like the third one was really like so close with Bow Wow trolling him. Oh my god, that was really close.
RNG not the best for Goomba Surf on TGH's screen, they still get to technically first try. Still saves time over the backup strat.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like he was getting it sort of third or fourth try, and I guess at fifth try it evens out.
Yeah. We don't really get to talk about the backup strat too much. You don't see it from the good runners. If you go a couple rooms away, you can do another super jump, plank off a P-hat, and land on some blocks. And if you fail that, use a hook shot for another backup. But
it actually looks super cool. So for the swagness, for swagness' sake, we still should do it.
It costs just so much time. I believe compared to an optimal Goomba Surf, it costs 15 extra seconds to do that.
I think it's something between 10 and 15. But yeah, like if we're going for World Recce, that's a potential time save you cannot miss. So that's what top runners gotta do. Go for that Goomba Surf. Even though it's really a pain to set it up and it's so RNG dependent, but yeah. That's what you gotta do if you wanna go for World Recce. Yeah, and for those of you just tuning in, we got the best of 3 match tonight, TGH versus vlackSR. This is the overall final for our LEDX tourney in 2017, hosted by Squeak Gaming. And we got the best of 3, Black versus TGH, and this is the first round, and Black just had some trouble in Dungeon 4. Really unfortunate, probably some controller issues right there. Glad he was able to fix it, and that's why we got a bit of a difference here with the way we're with the standing of a race so far. Teach being on his way to Dungeon 8, Vlack coming up to Goomba Surf in Dungeon 7.
And I want to point out, Vlack down to 1 bomb. So had he lost 2 bombs throughout the course of the run for some reason, he would not have had enough to finish this dungeon.
Oh my god, getting the backup strats on Goomba Surf. Nice job there. And also not getting stuck in the wall. That's a very precise trick right there. Like, I guess it's a 4-frame window where you have to perform that quote-unquote naked super jump. That's how most of us like to call it. And yeah, not playing it too bad at that point. Like,
we didn't actually talk about naked super jumps the last run. We only really talk about the ones where you use your weapons. You can do them without a weapon. They are done a bit differently. And I feel like it takes more time to set up, but sometimes it's kind of required.
Yeah, but like, again, you're tricking the game into... Oh, Teach having a little trouble there with a puzzle thing. You're tricking the game into thinking you're standing on a higher layer, and that lets you drop off these walls and makes you able to skip some obstacles you shouldn't be able to skip normally. That's what also Teach did right there, just to skip the first half of Dungeon 8.
So yeah, just
still being
point
on
out,
a really good pace. Sorry.
Shout out to the person in chat, Cosmic Warrior, who's been posting the time differences. Since Vlack struggles in Dungeon 4, the time difference between both players has remained consistent, like within 3 seconds of how it was. So if you take away that struggle, these players will still be tied.
Yeah, that's like the stuff that can happen. Could have happened to Teach also, you know, like, I don't know, by comparing both runners, you probably could say Teach is a bit more consistent overall. But I guess it's just because Vlack likes to do the riskier strats, so... I guess it's also one of the reasons why vlackSR's sum of best is a bit lower than TGH's. It's just like his strats are in general a bit more riskier, a bit more of the high risk, low reward strats. But that's gonna give you World Recce eventually.
I do think as long as he stays on the grind, he will get it at some point.
Probably, yes.
And who knows, maybe it'll push TGH to come back and try and take it back, or somebody new that wants to lower the time.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one.
I mean, that's part of the fun. You like to have a challenge to it. You don't want an easy world record.
Oh yeah, but like Geocop just said, Teach is on 53 pace, so this might become race world recce. So.
But we still have all of the Windfish egg to go, all the boss RNG there.
Oh yeah, and I'm also curious, Teach's timer just stopped. Because I thought, what the hell? It's the end of Dungeon 8 and he's at 45. This cannot be, man. This cannot be. Okay.
New strats?
Yeah. Like he's not that good. Yeah, definitely. I was really confused there with his timer. This would have been sub 47 Dungeon 8. This is like probably a TAS only at this part. Getting the 1 cycle hard head, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's classic Teach. He's just such a good such a good player. I guess if we compare to vlackSR's timer, Teach might be still on sub 49 pace. Oh yeah, that's sub 49 picking up the instrument. So,
and our favorite.
Oh yeah.
Wang Boys.
Wang Boys, bringing him, guys. But yeah, we might be seeing a race world recce tonight in the first of this best of 3.
And then, even then, still plenty of time to break that in the next match.
Yeah, we never know. Like, I actually think that's how the old world recce holder Hanky Panky got his world recce. Like, he got world recce in one evening, and then broke his own world recce the next run. And, like, he's an insane guy. But I guess we lost him to Smash Brothers Melee again.
I have, since I joined, I haven't seen him, but I'm also one of the much newer runners of this. World record is held by TGH at 52.44. Black is second on the leaderboard at 52.45. And Tej taking note of his timer stopping. Yeah, Tej likes this RNG manipulation where he types in the chat, and I guess that affects the amount of blue balls he gets.
How do I say hanky panky? I say it like everybody else. Yeah, that's the Game Boy version. Actually, the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening. And we're currently in the finals of a best of 3 in round 1 for a best of 3 TGH versus vlackSR. That's number 1 versus number 2 worldwide.
I'm glad this is a best of 3. That way Black does have time to still come back and take the title. And now we're entering, not the Death Egg, but the Windfish Egg.
Oh yeah.
Some more RNG.
You can also see Teach having 15 bombs. Like, that gives him so much more leeway on the end of the run with the bomb triggers in D7. Also, the last bomb trigger coming up right here. So he's gonna mash A for bombs and gonna skip the text, getting it first try.
Now to see if you can pull off a block quick kill.
Yeah. Gotta time your sword to get the quick kill, and that wasn't it.
So even if you're in the right position and do everything correct, there is still a level of RNG to it, whether or not you get it.
Yep, it's global frame rule.
You know, for a second there, I thought TGH pulled out the shovel for this. I was so happy for a brief moment.
He doesn't need to. So the Aghanim blue balls, first one guaranteed blue ball, so let's see how he's gonna do it here. I'm actually hoping for 5 blue balls at least for Teach.
Well, there's one.
That's number 1. Not because I don't like him, but just to give Black some time to catch up.
There's 2.
Having another one.
This could be a crazy race time, but RNG.
Yeah. Ooh,
3. Oh,
I jinxed
dear.
it. I'm sorry. I'm taking the blame. I jinxed it. So 3 blue balls so far. Let's see how the 4th one goes. Okay, 3 blue balls. For the race's sake.
Time loss, I believe. Moldorm down.
No problem right there.
Now the next RNG will totally be Landmoa. You know how heavy RNG Landmoa is. Just kidding. He needs Landmo. So, Death Allies. This could still be a 53. I don't think it will be.
We're gonna see about that.
Open up, Deathel.
Quite good so far. Still getting the 4 hits in. Ow, but with the last... But he's opening his eye right again. Okay, so this is gonna come down seconds.
I don't know, it's gotta be cutting it close.
Oh, yeah. So this looks like a 54 on Black's timer, but we gotta finish time by 54:01 SRL time. GG.
Come on. So GG to TGH taking game 1 of this best of 3. Still no 53. All because of those blue balls. Gosh, Bamboo, why'd you have to say it?
I jinxed it. I'm sorry. For the race's sake. But we got still potentially 2 more matches up to break that world record. And we're gonna see about that in just a few minutes. So, yeah, but that was also other stuff. It wasn't only the blue balls. It was also missing Blob quick kill. Devil RNG was a bit unfortunate right there, but he got through just fine.
Well, now Vlack getting blue balled. That's 2. 3. That's the same amount as TGH.
That's fair.
Gotta come down to Devil RNG, and we'll see what the time difference ends up being. So far, a decent RNG.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he missed one of those arrows, though.
I think he got all 8.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
That's it. The quads. He takes 16 hits and he can get in 4 hits per cycle. If you're really good, 5 hits per cycle, but that's all you need right there.
So Vlack finishing with an SRL time. A bit off from his timer. SRL time showing 56:34.
Yeah, that was like 8 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, really, if you take away the struggles in D4, yeah, these players would have still been within about 5-10 seconds of each other.
Oh yeah, that would have still been a low 54 for Black. So I'm actually really surprised he caught up. Like not that he caught up, but like that he was able to keep his pace. You know, I would have been furious after that much of a screw up just in Dungeon 4, because Dungeon 4 is like the first time you enter Dungeon 4, it's so short, it's so rather easy, but you know, like if you mess it up and you know it gets in your head, you just get confused and you just go crazy, man.
Indeed. Now, as we mentioned, this is a best of 3, so we do have at least one more match coming up. And I'm actually going to be bowing out of that one, and that will be replaced by none other than, I believe, Spice Father?
Let me quickly check. Oh yeah, it's gonna be Spice Father, but you can still you're welcome to join me until Spice Father gets into the voice on Discord.
Alright, I'll torch you for a bit more. I get the feeling Vlack is ready to just go and not take any time reflecting.
Oh yeah, he better, man. Like I actually remember him being really excited about the finals. Like, I mean, I was playing him on the half finals, on the semifinals, and I remember him saying, "Yeah, I'm just so glad I got to the finals," because he was playing the game so much lately. Like, he really wants this. He wants to win the finals, no question there.
Oh, no doubt. Okay, and it looks like my relief is here. Hello, Space.
Hey.
Yo, Spice, what's up?
Just one moment, I have some audio issues. Gonna restart Discord.
Alrighty, no problem there. Our run is having like around maybe 5-ish minutes break till we're gonna start the next race.
Yeah, give him a chance to breathe, stretch, whatnot.
Alright, audio is still a bit messed up, but I'll pretend it isn't.
Sounds fine, actually.
Alright, well, good luck with the rest of the finals. It's been a pleasure commentating alongside you. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this.
Yeah, and thanks for your commentating, Foul Flame.
Thanks for having me.
So, Spice Father, have you been watching the first 2 races so far?
Yeah, I've caught them both, and apart from, the hiccup for Vlack, they've both been incredible races.
Oh yeah,
And
hiccup, man.
yeah, like I literally died watching that. It's just like, you want them to both win, but you never want to see them win like that.
Oh yeah, like that was so unfortunate. Like he's gonna be really, really pissed about that.
Yeah, but hopefully he's able to de-trigger himself and clear his head for the next race, possibly 2 races if he does really well in this one.
Oh yeah, like it's not an easy task. You also have to say, like you saw, LADX. It looks all cute and fun, but it's really quite execution heavy, and those runners potentially having 2 speed runs in a row, like that's a total of 3-ish hours speedrunning this game in a row. I don't know, like it's quite a task.
Yeah, as people probably mentioned, TGH typically watches chat, so he would have known what happened to Vlack and how much time he lost. So it's I wonder if either of them would have just gone easy, gave their hands a little bit of a rest for the next matches, just so they're not quite as worn out.
Yeah, that might be a thing, though I'm pretty sure it's in their nature that they just go all in all the way. There's still a world recce, the race world recce to be get. Can you say that, to be get? Whatever. You know what I mean. Like race world recce is still something both runners want to go for. To be gotten, to be get. Yeah, I'm sorry. English is not my native language, so I'm gonna struggle a bit with my English every now and then. But that's why I got Spice Father right here.
Oh, if you're planning on having me carry you through English, you got another thing coming.
Valid to get, indeed, yeah. So yeah, like we mentioned, both runners taking a quick toilet break, quick bathroom break right there. Just breathing through for a moment, breathing through for a second. So, like we can see on the screen, we got a best of 3. TGH won the first round, due to some unfortunate, probably controller issues by vlackSR. So yeah, I'm really hoping to turn that Vlack can turn this, so he's gonna win the second round. So we're gonna see the final round. That's the thing with LADX. And we went into the bracket stage and we were like, yeah, maybe we should do every match in the bracket stage to be a best of 3, just because the RNG part of this game is so much. Even if you execute perfectly every time, RNG can easily screw you over. And this is not a Link to the Past randomizing, they're not playing the same seed. Each player can have individual RNG, and there can be 20th time Horsehead, 5 blue balls, what have you.
Yeah, I was just looking through the results earlier to curiosity, and I saw that for Dragon in particular, he had one race where he had a 55-minute time, then one with a 58. He's obviously a super skilled runner, but RNG can still just trash you if it wants to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or you can get 20 horse heads if someone makes fun of your cart possibly not being legit.
Been there, done that.
And yeah, shoutouts to Cravon's ROM hack, the only true way to play LADX.
Oh yeah, it's actually the original version of this game. And then developers found Cravone's ROM hack and they developed LEDX based on Cravone's ROM hack. So there's a whole theory going on with Cravone's ROM hack. But yeah, if you like ROM hacks, if you like this game, and if you like ROM hacks, I can highly recommend to check out Cravone's ROM hack. You can find it on speedrun.com/LEDX. It's quite a tough one, but it's really fun. It got some things in it where you really want to just say, "Oh my God, Cravone, what did you do there? You fuck."
Yeah, like
but
if you've played the game casually, it will take everything you know about the game and destroy it. Like,
oh yeah,
it's a super fun experience. Like, I've played through it myself. It's super fun, but it's super challenging, and there are parts of it that you'll just want to want to find where Cravone lives and just strangle him to death.
oh yeah, definitely. I've been trying to do that in one go, and it's a mess. Yeah. So yeah, if you like ROM hacks, check out speedrun.com/LEDX. In the resources tab, we got next to some other resources, we got the Cravone ROM hack. It's quite humorous and quite fun, but also wants to make you die sometimes. So all in all, it's like the usual ROM hack you expect with a game of this kind.
Yep, and as people are mentioning in the Discord, there are also links to our Discord on speedrun.com/LEDX. So if you want to join our community and ask questions while you learn, feel free to go there.
Yeah, you're well welcome. And also we got some great tutorials. We got some video tutorials. We also got in the meantime some written tutorials. Shoutouts to Xander. And so and you can always join our Discord and ask any question. Like there's no a question too dumb to ask. So like just go ahead, like it's a very friendly and open community. And we're lucky to have every runner in the game because every potential new runner brings in new ideas, new strats. That's what brings the speedrun further. And since I joined this community, I'm not fairly new, but maybe one of the rather newer runners to this game. And since I joined the community, the world record dropped down by almost 3 minutes. Have been so many new strats have been found in the meantime, and it's still in development. There's probably every month new strats found. Sometimes it's a time saved by 1 second.
Also, just to cut it in here, we are actually starting the race right now. So,
oh yeah,
there's a race going on.
oh my God, yeah, we're having round 2. It's always me just ranting and talking. So that's why I have you, Spyfall. You put me right back on track.
Yep. Although the video feed looks like it might be a little bit delayed because neither is starting yet. So we'll just wait a minute while it catches up.
Our SRL tracker is a little bit ahead, as always. But we're glad that we get runners back on the race. And we're excited for round 2 of hopefully 3 in this best of 3 LEDX overall finals. So especially good luck to vlackSR that he will hopefully turn around this thing so we can see the third match between TGH and vlackSR. Vamos, indeed. Not vamos a la playa, rather vamos to the Windfish Egg.
So I'm not sure how much we really need to comment on what they're doing because everyone's already watched 2 matches. But
oh yeah, like the usual stuff, going down to the sword, going down to the beach, getting the sword.
So they're doing a trick that might be called quick sword or quick sword or fast quick sword or something. There are actually 2 sort of versions of this trick. Vlack is kind of doing the old version where you'd normally come in from the left, push the spiny thing, and then you'd walk out with your shield, and you'd grab it at that time. But semi-recently, Disclude, I believe it was, found that if you damage boost off the urchin, you can just get the sword right away while the owl's still talking. And I think it saves like half a second. Classic disclude.
Yeah, the classic disclude time save. Like, also the disclude pixel only saves 20 frames. It's like disclude strats are somewhat infamous to only save a small amount of frames, but
yeah, we joke about it. But if I'd used that pixel in my task, we'd have a sub 50 for that.
Oh yeah, damn it!
One whole frame is all I needed.
Yeah, gotta reduce the task, man. So, both runners being on the way to Moblin skip. Black having a bit of trouble there with the RNG, just Moblin's running into his way.
Oh, double. Both those Moblins being mean to him.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like the game knows that he needs one and isn't giving it to him.
Yeah. And like, I guess we're gonna see mushroom strats again for both runners. So, both runners picking up that mushroom, making their way to the Moblin skip. So let's see how RNG treats Teach. Ooh, very good RNG right there. Oh, but he's dropping into the pit. That's very unfortunate.
Oh,
getting the World Recce Moblin skip RNG and getting it second try. As we can see, Black only being a few seconds behind. Having trouble with Owl skip though. Getting it third-ish try. Putting him a bit back, but shouldn't be too far behind. Maybe 4-ish seconds, so there's still shopkeeper RNG. Teach also has to take care on his hard counter here.
Yeah, like at this point in the run, like anything, like barring like a 5-minute difference in time, any small changes here, like there's more than enough ways to make up for it with all the RNG in the game.
Oh my god, yeah, like you see runners reset so early in the game, but really, like, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I mean,
a few seconds.
When TGH runs, I believe he'll reset if he has anything slower than like a 5-minute D1 entrance. Or at least that was what he did before Mushroom. But like, he's the world record holder, he has to do that if he wants to improve.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, like for a less intense runner, I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong, you may as well just take the time you get at the beginning.
Yeah. We can also see Black going in the lead just because he skipped that one set of bombs. I still, personally, if I can talk freely right here, I'm not really thinking that it saves that much time. Because if you can do all the bomb triggers that Black can't do, plus the quick kill on Anglerfish, I don't know if it's worth skipping that one set of bombs you can skip.
Yeah, I think buying it would be like, what, maybe 6-7 seconds? But
I would say 6.
But you can do an owl bomb trigger for, like, what,
for dungeon
2 seconds?
Yeah, like dungeon free bomb trigger saves 3-ish seconds.
And then Anglerfish. It's hard to imagine using sword, like, being quick enough to not be slower.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, maybe that's some strats that can be redone, I think. Still puts him in the lead right now, so we're gonna see how this turns out later. Also, like, there's still, I always forget that, there are still some parts where, there can be random bomb drops, you know? Like, we're gonna have the blob later, the boss blob or whatever you call it. And he can randomly just drop some bombs, so if that happens, I guess Black will definitely go with that.
Although I believe those bomb drops like a 1 in 30 chance? Something really low.
It's quite rare though, yeah.
Yeah, like with the Link's Awakening randomizer stuff going on, I was testing into getting bombs from the ghosts in the graveyard, and those like 2 runs through the entire graveyard and I got 1 bomb drop. And I think the beetles have the same drop rate. Never mind having to get Bow Wow to actually eat it for you.
That's also the case, yeah. Yeah, but we can see both runners went for the mushroom pit walk or whatever you call it. I actually don't think we have a official term for that glitch, for that trick yet. I'm just gonna call it the mushroom pit walk. Just using the mushroom while standing over a pit pushes you at the bottom of that pit, and that also pushes you a bit, 1 pixel into the wall. That's you super jump off it. So it's like a really tricky strat, very technical, and gives you a bit of quicker dungeon 1.
Yeah, and
like
just
we
for
used to
note,
do.
every time they use the mushroom in that way, there is actually a chance of soft locking if they bring up their save and quit menu too early, I believe.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
Like they
You don't
both
wanna bring it up too early.
they both know the timing, so I don't expect we'd ever see that from them at this point.
It's still quite precise though, because if you bring it up too early, you soft lock, you get the white screen of doom. If you bring it up too late, you're getting an extra text box with the text saying something like, "Oh, that mushroom, it smells like very weirdly," and whatnot. In Japanese, of course, though.
But anyway, they both finished D1 with very good times. So,
Yeah.
heading on to D2 to go get Bow Wow, the best thing in the game.
Oh
after
yeah.
Marin.
We also saw Black doing a little detour here, so his piece of power will drop properly in Dungeon 2. Both going for somewhat the same kill route throughout this forest section here.
Yeah, I think Vlack gets a couple extra kills in D1 that TGH doesn't. But Vlack also does it with arrows, and like he perfectly routes out what kills he gets with them.
Yeah.
Whereas TGH relies on the forest for a couple extra kills, I think.
Yeah. Oh my god, Black getting the frame perfect jump to the bottom. That's really cool. Like, it's one of the rather smaller time saves, but maybe saved like 15 frames there. That's what LEDX is all about. You know, like, there are tricks like Rooster Skip where you can just like easily lose half a minute or so, but then you can save 10 frames and it's like, oh my god, it's the thing.
Yeah, like that jump there, like a jump will take you, I think, 30 pixels, and then it's 1 pixel per frame, so it's half a second of movement. But if he were to fail that, I think, like if he'd done the jump before the mushroom, he would have jumped down without trading it, losing him more than half a second. So like, Vlad just has so many, like, risk with low reward things that
Yeah,
it's crazy.
that's just Black right there. High risk, low reward throughout the run.
And just I just got a message from my friends, and I have to plug Toronto for them. Don't ask why.
Shout out to Canada.
But yeah, they're both getting very good times coming out of the mob cave, and hopefully Bow Wow's nice to them here with eating the flowers. I know
my
he was
God.
kind of mean to Vlack the first race. And
Yeah,
again,
yeah. And it's
Oh,
a
but TGH
sad
gets
thing.
perfect.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Like, Teach was even struggling with a flaw clip. Like, that's something you can get very easily consistently. But yeah, like,
Ooh, but no piece of power for
RNG
TGH.
is not on Black's side. That is weird though, like, he might be 1 kill behind. So I guess we're gonna see a high 5 after Teach picks up that piece of power. There we go. Yeah, like, Teach only being a little bit behind, but maybe 1 second or so, maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Teach
but-
may or may not try to go for an extra kill here, or he might just save it for early D3.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt if you get piece of power too late in Dungeon 2. You can still kill some extra enemies on the way to Dungeon 3, and both runners know. They're probably not counting along, but they sort of know. You just get a feeling after the tons of attempts they both did where your piece of power routing is.
Yeah, like for the later dungeons, it's sort of just like after D5, you sort of just feel out the kills based on where you got piece of power, so you know, like, I mean, you ideally get in the same room, so it's a matter of 3 or 4 kills. So you know, maybe there are a couple that you get extra, a couple you miss. But early game.
Technically, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I mean, technically, you could count along every kill you do, but I guess it's rather the better thing to focus on your speed run as counting along every single kill you do. But since you don't have Bow Wow yet, it's well, we just got him, but it's he was not able to influence the piece of power routing that much by now, but he's gonna be a big influence on the Dungeon 6 piece of power, which both runners will go for. And yeah, like that's one of the things they both gotta keep track of.
Yeah, like I sort of think of as only two real overworld parts where Bow Wow can screw with you. Basically from D2 to D3 and then D3 to D4. The other parts, like, you might get a 1 or 2 kills outside of what you expect, but it's generally pretty fixed.
Yeah, actually, also on the way, if you're going for Dungeon 6 piece of power, it can be messy sometimes also.
Like, I don't count it myself, but from my experience, it seems like you typically get fairly consistent kill numbers there. But I'll go with your word, because I know you do count it.
Yeah, I also didn't count it, but like it's not easy, you know, like it's just feeling what I'm saying right here, you know, like I got no statistics on that one, but yeah, I guess we're not gonna settle this tonight.
Yep. And for the people in chat asking, the expected time for these runs are about 54 to 55 minutes for these two guys. And TGH's PB is 52:44, and Vlax is 1 second behind at 52:45. So, like, TGH's world record, so these are absolutely top tier.
Definitely, yeah. So we got a Villa skip coming up, and Black getting oh my god, this is RNG screwing him over again. Oh Jesus, this
Black
is not what we wanted to see.
Julian buffer. Yeah, like this.
Oh, there we go. That was like
Bamboo called it RNG, but it's not even. It's just frame rules. There are only certain frames in the game where you can get it, and it's just luck.
Yeah, and Teach getting it third try here, so that's not gonna be cool for Black. You know, like he knows this. I'm just calling it 10 buffer right now. I stopped counting at 5 because there was also a lag on his stream. He's gonna be disappointed about that one, but nevertheless, he can still catch up. But that's really not what we wanted to see from the RNG of the game so far.
Especially after the issues he had last run. Like, it sucks to see any early game whatevers. But I mean, the RNG blade cuts both ways. It could also hit TGH with some pretty bad stuff.
Of course.
Not that we're hoping for it.
No.
Oh, no, we are.
I already jinxed it last game. And there we go, getting the late piece of power in Dungeon 3. That's unfortunate.
But no, I'm totally hoping for a Vlack win just so we have a third match.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's basically what all of us are doing. Like getting the piece of power though, so just gonna put him a bit on the upper hand right there.
Also, just shoutouts to my baby dong skip.
Yeah, shoutouts to Spice Father. He was actually the one who found that, and that was another 20 to 30 second time save in Dungeon 3, let alone.
When I first found it, I didn't realize how much it would save, but then Disclude timed it. Because of course Disclude tasks it.
Yeah, but task
saved like about 22 seconds.
At least 20 seconds, that's what I remember.
And then I believe right after that, Hanky Panky went and got himself a world record.
Yeah.
Which TGH promptly smashed.
And that's how it goes with LEDX.
But yeah, coming up on the D3 boss, Vitriolus, he's such a nice, like, speedrunny kind of boss. Like, the fight looks like a speedrun, unlike some of the others. And that's absolutely perfect fight from TGH.
Yeah, Black getting bad RNG also there, or maybe a bit suboptimal execution, you could also say. But still, like, both runners finishing sub 17, which is pretty good for a race. Flag still getting a 16:45. Not being too far behind, so that was actually pretty good. And you could see how each did fall behind in Dungeon 3 with not having that piece of power where he wanted it. So let's see if we can catch up with that bomb trigger. That's unfortunate, yeah. Like, it's a frame perfect input. You gotta manipulate your sub pixels, and with a series of jumps you saw Teach doing there, and then you gotta stand on the pixel next to the screen transition where the screen transition would happen, and then input up, right, or down route plus bombs. So needless to say, that's not an easy task, and it's one of these high risk, high reward strats. High risk, low reward, sorry.
And the bomb trigger takes 2 bombs, so we saw Vlack, because he only bought 1 set of bombs at the beginning, he didn't go for it because he's really got to ration them.
Yeah.
One of the later dungeons, Dungeon 7, we have to do 4 bomb triggers, which is 8 bombs on its own. So, like, I think there will only be 1 bomb pickup in... I don't even remember where. I haven't played this game enough. But there'll only be 1 bomb pickup before then, so...
Yeah, they're gonna pick up some bombs in Dungeon 4, and in Dungeon 5, and also in Dungeon 6. So... Yeah, they're...
Not in D6 anymore. Oh wait, no, yeah, at the end.
It's
Ignore
after,
me, everybody.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm glad there were actually those flying bombs, because if there weren't those bombs, that would have been rip horsehead strats. So less RNG.
We could always just buy 3 sets, right?
Yeah, that also, yeah, of course.
I mean,
actually,
we only have to farm rupees once to make it 50 of them.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, save and quit. So, Teach is finishing off Landmola. He's a joke, like most mini bosses, but that boss especially, like, his hitbox is reachable before he even appears.
Yeah, I was testing something earlier and, like, actually saw him because I didn't have arrows in my tests. I was like, oh yeah, that's what he looks like.
It's a myth, yeah.
Yeah, so with that key in hand, they're on their way back to D4, where, you know, stuff will happen. And if we're lucky, they'll both actually open up D4.
Oh my god.
Crunchy will never live that down.
Shoutouts to our man, Crunchy.
And for people asking about the colors, it's because TGH is running on console, whereas Vlack is running on Gambate, one of the emulators.
Gambate, best emulator, but it
Second
has a
best.
somewhat it has a somewhat different color palette from the original color palette you see on TGH's screen. TGH is using a GameCube with a Game Boy player and using the Game Boy interface software to run this. So shoutouts to Extremes for developing this great piece of software for the GameCube.
Yep, and he's also using the EverDrive, so shout out to Crix,
Yeah,
I believe.
shoutouts to Crix, our boy from Ukraine. Yet to
Yeah.
blow you.
Gotta get myself one of those too.
Oh yeah, it's a great tool. You can load ROMs onto it and use save states and whatnot.
Yeah, especially with both the randomizers. Shoutouts to both Spearaster and Crystal Saver for 2 different randomizers. Both coming out, well, Spearaster's isn't quite out yet, but coming out very recently.
Both in development, yeah. So next year, we might see an LEDX rando tourney, maybe. Whoa.
And we'll
Let's
see if someone can beat Dragon. Calling it now.
Yeah. No question there. He's a great rando runner.
Yeah, some
I
of
mean,
the races, it's like, okay, I found D1, and Dragon's like, okay, I have like 6 instruments.
Yeah, like he's also doing very well on the A Link to the Past rando tourney going on at the moment. So we'll see if he will get. I think he's definitely gonna go to the bracket stage. So both of our runners still not still, but already rather in Dungeon 4. Really excited if Flack can pull it off now, you know, like I'm guessing he's really nervous at that point. Both making it throughout the dungeon. It's very short, but if you mess it up, it can be brutal, really brutal.
And I don't remember if we really mentioned it in the previous races, but they only do half of D4 here. Just because if they finish the dungeon right now, there's a really annoying side quest they'd have to finish. So instead they'll do 5 and 6 before coming back. Because, as it turns out, D4 is sort of like on the way from D6 to D7 anyway.
Yeah, it's not that big of a detour. Like, actually, there has been new stuff found for the LEDX category that allows to do save and quits, and that way you could have done Dungeon 4 in one go. It turns out, actually, it doesn't save that much time compared to the way we do it in the no scoop category, because just, yeah, like we do it this way, Dungeon 4 is just on the way to the top, where you finish Dungeon 7 and Dungeon 8, so that's actually not that big of a detour to do it that way.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really miss finishing D8 before D7. I mean, not only do you get to have 2 wangs, but you also get to beat the Evil Eagle with your wang.
Yeah, like, this way it's also something that always bugged me when I was playing the game casually back in the day, that you get the fire rod so late in the run, because it's such an OP weapon, it's such an OP item, and you can only use it for such a short time, because once you pick it up, there's also that you already gotta go to Windfish Egg and finish him off, you know.
Yeah, like, to my recollection, you basically fight Hothead with it, and there's one room with a puzzle that actually requires it. Like, it's just such a waste of such a cool item, but at the same time, with that much power, it would sort of ruin a lot of earlier dungeons.
Oh yeah. Like in the glitched version of the game where you get the fire rod earlier, you can do so much.
And Vlack having a little bit of trouble with that Helmosaur.
Getting the worst RNG though. Getting really the worst RNG. Teach having no problem after all. Like, that's the thing with Teach, you know, like, he's a really good runner, but he's also getting really good RNG in the important runs of his, in the important speed runs, like, both getting the underground section frame perfect jump there.
At least right there, the Helmosaur is lined up nicely for Vlack, both facing up.
Yeah, if you could both get him with a spin slash, we call that a boom. Shoutouts to El Peso.
Hopefully not too many shoutouts to him though, because there's one shoutout that'd be pretty bad to see. I'm not sure if Vlack's screen just lagged there or if he sort of got confused for a moment, but it looked like he struggled going into that one room.
Yeah, like, Vlack is actually living in Honduras, and I think you can't compare it to the US or Middle Europe, or what do you call it, Central Europe, sorry. And I think just internet connection isn't that consistent right there, you know, like, he's dropping frames every now and then, just because his internet is not that consistent and reliable as like the standard quote-unquote usual private internet connection you're gonna have in the US or in Central Europe these days. So if there's gonna be some frame drops every now and then by Vlack, it's not really his fault. It's just like he's got bad internet, and just the way it is where he lives. But both of us not being too far away from each other, so
Yeah,
Black getting the jump first try though. That's great work right there.
Yeah, let him catch up a little bit because TGH did fail his first jump.
Yeah. Let's see how he's gonna do it in the Hamaso room again.
Oh,
Losing
TGH
his
just
power.
lost his pop.
Yeah.
So
That's the
gonna
thing.
be
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the thing with these runners, you know, like it's they're playing all in every time, high risk, maybe sometimes high reward, most of the time rather low reward, and that's one of the things. If you go all in, then you can easily lose your piece of power in the dungeon.
So it is going to be a bit of a movement speed drop for TGH, but he does want to lose piece of power by the end of the dungeon, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
compared to
though
like Dungeon 3, where it's really bad to lose piece of power for the final boss.
oh yeah, though we already saw him having trouble there with a kill of that Stealthos guy, just because his double damage wears off after you lose the piece of power. He's doing the backup strat, switching to the hook shot. That's a wise choice there. Gives Vlack some time to catch up. Missing the frame perfect jump there. Not too bad. Getting the quick kill, great job there on those Helmosaurs. Like, Helmosaurs are really, I don't know how you can like this dungeon. Good runners usually like this dungeon. Bad runners like myself usually hate D5 because of Helmosaur RNG.
I don't know, I haven't heard anybody who actually likes it, and like Crunchy was getting just straight up triggered by it earlier. He's not even running it, but he hates it that much that you can tell.
Oh yeah.
And the boss is...
For a good reason though.
The boss is definitely one of the hardest ones to learn initially. Like, until I found out about the, like, semi-consistent 2-cycle method, I just hated it so much, because you'd stand there waiting for it to show up on one side.
Yeah, like, that's a pretty consistent 2-cycle, actually. If he spawns at the bottom right the second time, it's a bit difficult, but it's one of these quick kills, which looks easy, but it's like everything in this game. It takes practice, and after you've gotten used to it, you can get it very consistent. Both of our runners finishing with a sub 29 D5, so yeah, that's still the race we want to see here tonight.
Yeah, like the fact that they're getting the instrument around the same time is... I mean, like, this is probably going to come down to either Rooster Skip or Blue Balls or something.
Definitely, yeah. We're also gonna see Vlack saving 1 second over to TGH because he's doing some advanced boot strats, hopefully not screwing them up, but he's been really consistent with them. And also, just overall RNG, we're gonna see right here in the Amos Maze. Both runners gonna equip their shield and hope for the best that Bawa will maybe eat one or another of these Amos Knights standing in our way. So let's hope the best that Black is getting some good RNG, so he's gonna be able to catch up here.
Yeah, like there's some Amos touch that Bawa, I want to say always, but almost always eats. So like you can sort of just rush your way through certain parts, but right here where TGH is, like this is sort of a 50-50 one. He got pretty good RNG there.
Yeah, and also one on the way back is also a guaranteed eat. Having no problem. Getting the good sub-pixels also on that last almost there, that's really good. Really good. Really good RNG for Teach.
Yeah, and Black's going a little out of his way to pick up some extra arrows, just because his route is slightly different and uses more arrows than other people do.
Indeed, yeah.
Or at least different arrows.
And if this picture wasn't frozen, we could have seen the whole quick kill of Black. Black also doing a 2-cycle here, but as you can see, his enemy boss dies at the bottom of the screen, and guess what? This saves a whole second compared to the strat TGH just did. Yeah, I actually timed it. It's almost a second. It's like 55 frames or so. Teach having no problem leaving the almost maze. Making his way to Dungeon 6. Black getting somewhat semi-good RNG here again. But Teach getting trolled by the bomb fairies big time. Should be okay though with his heart count. 3 hearts should be okay. Black having also 3.5 hearts, so at least equal heart count going into Dungeon 6. So I'm excited whether Black will do the risky strat on the jump over those pits there.
Oh,
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Piece of power right before Dungeon 6, and also being on the staircase, so he has to pick it up. Making the jump though.
if that had been anywhere else, he would have at least, saved a little bit of time on the movement. But because it was right there, right on the stairs, he doesn't even have like the movement speed from it.
Yeah. Only a 2-second time loss, and that's really, really unfortunate. Gonna see how Teach does with a piece of power here. Not getting it yet, but we're gonna see it shortly, I guess.
Yeah, to answer chat, Vlack can absolutely win on RNG here. This is still anybody's race.
Definitely.
Until the very, very end.
Like last round it was a bit unfortunate, like because Teach got so far ahead in Dungeon 4, but this is like nothing.
But maybe, no, your race with Dragon, like holy shit. You fell a little bit behind on the blue balls, and then Deathel was just such a troll to Dragon that you were able to pull ahead there.
Yeah. I was like so confused. I was thinking that Dragon... I thought Dragon was ahead because I knew he would go all in, and finishing 2 seconds earlier, that was fortunate.
Yeah, I think he had 8 arrows into Deathel at the time you killed Lanmola.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how bad it was for him.
That sounds really, really bad. Yeah. And not even coming down to blue balls. I guess Dragon had 1 blue ball, I had 4 blue balls. Teach getting piece of power. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was an acorn. But that's piece of power. Somewhere around where he wanted. He couldn't save the menu there, but still you want to have that piece of power in Dungeon 6. It makes the flock clubs more consistent, which we see on Teach's screen right there. Just squeezing through that key block. Shoutouts to LEDX developers.
I have to say, I was hoping he'd fail it after you said it was more consistent. And Black is actually getting that super cool super jump there.
Oh my god.
If you basically do a boot jump into a wall, you can sort of just super jump right out of it because of the screen shake.
Yeah. Another one of these high risk, high reward strats. High risk, low reward.
Easy every time horse heads for TGH.
That's my boy Teach. Just getting the easy peasy RNG. So let's hope.
Did you send your card over to him? That why you did so poorly the other race?
Yeah, we switched cartridges, but Black ended in the second try though. That's pretty good. So at least RNG being not too how you call it?
Yeah, not too evil.
Not too evil, yeah. I was thinking about subterfuge. Is that like or vicious, Yeah,
vicious would be good. Savage even.
Yeah.
For any Rocket League players.
Yeah. So yeah, like RNG treating both of our runners not too badly in this dungeon. So Teach being not too far ahead, but still like on such an insane pace. Picking up the instrument at 35:20. That's only 19 seconds of world recce. And yeah, like we cannot stretch this enough. This game is so RNG heavy. This is insane that both of our runners being still on such a good pace. This is a top race right there.
Yeah, with Black grabbing the instrument at 55 or 35 whatever, 15 seconds behind Teach. They're only 2 blue balls apart if all the other RNG lines up the same.
Yeah. Though Black has to let go of that bomb trigger Teach. Oh my god, he's doing the bomb trigger. That's some risky strat right there. But I guess he was checking his bomb count, and he knows he only needs 10 bombs for Dungeon 7. That's enough for him, you know, like he's quite consistent with the bomb triggers, so he thought, screw it, man, I'm going for it. And I'm glad to see that both of our runners did get the D6 bomb skip, or what we call it, D6 owl trigger, whatever. Skips the owl animation, so we only get the text boxes and not the animation of the owl flying in and out.
Like, I know Vlack does do some pit bomb triggers, so he can miss one bomb there. But he knows right now he has to play his best if he wants to beat TGH.
Oh yeah.
Without, you know, entirely relying on the RNG.
Actually, both runners know that. Like, I mean, Teach is also taking no casualties here. You know, like he's all in also.
No, it's just such a sick race. It's hard to commentate when you just want to watch it.
Yeah.
So
I actually don't mind a bit of silence in between, you know.
Yeah. But like right here is one of the biggest deviations in strategies.
Yeah.
Vlack doesn't use bomb arrows here just because he only buys one set early on.
He's gonna do a spin slash, another spin slash, and then I guess it's 4 more hits. Yeah. 4 more hits to make the anglefish go away, and then it's gonna put him a bit behind, but we got Rooster Skip coming up, so yeah, no question there. This is the hardest trick in the run, and we might see some lead changes here.
And just to answer some of the chat things, for the Windfish Egg path, it's fixed as long as you don't read the book that gives you the solution. And for pronouncing TGH, it's pronounced TGH, but people call him Tej as well. It's spelled differently.
It's actually how he calls himself. It's how his girlfriend calls him. It's how most people just call him, you know, like...
Unless they want to use his real name, which I don't know.
Yeah, he actually told me his real name at GDQ, but I'm not gonna unveil this tonight.
Yeah, of course.
Gonna take this to the grave. But he's a really great guy, by the way. So if you're ever gonna meet Teach offline, he's a really nice guy to hang around with. Really busy at speedrun events though. Like he got quite some people following him right now. On Twitch, not in real life, hopefully. Not stalking him in real life. But I remember him being quite busy at GDQ, always hanging out with other speedrunners, doing speedruns on his own. He's a great runner, like he speedruns also other games, and might have a shot at also winning the A Link to the Past rando tourney going on Speed Gaming at this moment. But right now he's got to do Rooster Skip. Let's see about that.
Yeah, and also just while I'm thinking about it, shoutouts to TGH's alarm today for actually going off.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh my god! There we go.
Oh.
That's the bad subpixel. So that gives Vlack the opportunity to catch up. So let's gonna see how his Rooster Skip is going.
Yeah, the way Vlack does it here, it's really consistent. Like he's not likely to fall in because he always stands on the corners.
Yeah, and now we can see right now, like it's a bit slower compared to the optimal unbuffered Rooster Skip.
Oh no! Yeah.
That is what can happen there.
Oh, Bow Wow.
Yeah.
So, like, we do like Bow Wow for some things, but we absolutely hate him for other things like this.
There we go, yeah. So that is going to be a huge time save to Vlack, taking the lead there by, I would say, at least 40 seconds. Jesus
like,
Christ.
Even with this lead, TGH still can come back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's going to take even heavier RNG than Vlack needed. And TGH just opting to buffer this for perfect consistency.
Vlack is still going to be going all in. He's definitely not expecting this from TGH.
Yeah, he has no idea.
Yeah, so third try for Teach. That's probably at least a time loss by 1 minute, so that does hurt a lot. But the way I know Teach, he's not gonna play any more or less consistent because of that. His consistency is just like brutal. he can just like put his mind at ease and go and play it consistently, like we know it.
Almost as if he's a robot without emotions.
It's actually frightening at some time. Yeah, though he's really not at all like this in real life. Like, he's actually a really nice guy. It's just his speed running, which seems to be
such incredible
so
precision
robotic,
with everything.
so robotic. Yeah. Black doing his first bomb trigger there. Doing the second one on screen transition, not wasting any bombs. Great job so far. Oh my god, getting one on the side transition. That's perfect execution right there.
Yeah, in the last race I saw him do it in the pit, that screen, so he just wants to save that extra time because he has one bomb to spare.
Yeah, that was perfect execution by Black, so like, Taz can't do it any quicker.
Watch me.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm probably gonna hear some echo from Spice Father on that one. It's that Taz guy, man. He's just a great speedrunner.
Yeah, he's so good. I think that task guy might actually beat the 50-minute barrier very soon.
So Black going for Goomba Surf. Getting it not third try. Not fourth try. This is really unfortunate. Come on, move up, move up. No. Gonna put him a bit back again. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god, that was really nice. Fixing that setup there.
Oh,
that did hurt. Oh my god.
And
Oh my god.
Sucks a bit more because now he has only one Goomba who's in that area. But he managed.
Oh, got it though. Oh my god, he's gonna be pissed about that. That is really, really unfortunate. That probably lost him even compared to the backup strats at least 10-ish seconds. So more time to catch up for TGH. So like, that's the thing with this game. It's over when it's over, and before that, anything is possible. Teach not getting it first try, not second.
Also, I'm surprised to see TGH with his sword out here, because I thought he used bombs for the crystal switch. Unless he missed some on a bomb trigger.
I actually don't know. Also having the worst RNG here, so this is equally bad RNG for both our runners here. Oh my god, that was somewhere about 9th attempt, 10th attempt. Oh my god. Oh my god. Finally! Still getting stuck.
Hopefully he can boot out.
Boot out of that
Perfect.
one. Oh my god.
Well,
he might be... Yeah.
I say perfect, but like, no. He just lost another... I think
Another
that took
2
even longer than
seconds.
Black, so maybe another 5, 10, 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, yeah. But at least for both runners, equally bad RNG. Maybe that also maybe that Rooster skip got into Teach's head, you know, like, he plays most of the time, he plays like a freaking machine, but
It
maybe
got
that
into
one.
Goomba's head for him.
Yeah. There's
Although that
nothing
might
you
just
can do
be...
about that.
That's just his luck, like, coming back. He's had such good luck on everything else in the game. Like, both the races so far. That's all of it just coming back in one place to bite him.
Also that, yeah. And that is exactly the reason why we're having this best of 3 final. You know, like, we couldn't do this in a single race, because just like you just witnessed, this game is quite RNG heavy. Stuff can happen, and just can put one runner in lead of the other. Yeah, so Black's bomb count looking quite okay with 8 bombs. Going into the 8, we're gonna have a bomb refill, so he can actually make the last bomb trigger in the Windfish egg. Should be fine there. And just entering flame skip, abusing wall clipping again. This is probably the major game breaker in this speed run. Enabling us to do super jumps, doing the flame skip and what have you.
Yeah, wall clips are just such a great thing. like you don't even realize how much you take them for granted until like you play 1.2 and you can't use certain tricks.
Oh yeah.
There are 3 different versions of the game, like apart from just language differences, but some of them have different glitches that work, some that don't. And in 1.2, the super jumps as we typically use them don't work. You can only do like mini super jumps, which we like to call super hops, but those aren't nearly as useful.
That is so cute, man.
Well, it beats the hell out of Shaq jumps.
Definitely.
And TGH is behind because he actually had a lot of trouble with Rooster Skip. He fell in twice, and then the Goombas in D7 really buggered him around.
Yeah, still Teach won the first round of this best of 3. We're currently seeing the second. So even if Teach will lose, this will be no problem. We're still gonna see a third round, which will be the final match for this overall final of our tourney in the year 2017 for LDX No Scoop. No save and quit, no wrong warp, no out of bounds. So in case you're also just tuning in, this is like the speedrun category for this game, which doesn't break the game entirely, so you can still recognize its original sort of quote-unquote casually intended game. And Teach pulling off the quick strats here. So he's...
haven't seen those in a while.
Yeah, and he's going all in. He knows he has to go all in because he failed Rooster Skip twice. And if you were watching thoroughly, he actually has only 6 arrows left, with only 10 arrows, with only a 10 arrows replenished on his way. So that does make his arrow count 16 arrows entering Windfish Egg. So in case he misses 1 arrow, it's GG for him, basically.
Well, he could always time his bombs out perfectly, but we know how that works. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can miss 1 arrow and then you have to finish him off with bombs, yeah, but... Oh my god, this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah, for chat, you need exactly 16 arrows or hits on Deathel to beat him. They can be bomb or arrow for the hits, but obviously arrows are easier. You could also use Boomerang and kill him in 1 hit because reasons, but that would require completing the entire trade sequence, which takes a lot of time.
Boomerang is just so OP in this game. Oh my god, Black just... My god, that was 1 quick kill right there by vlackSR. That was really, really well played.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people knew about it, but there's an awesome trick with the Rooster and the Boomerang, where if you pick up the Rooster while the Boomerang's out, you can have it hover underneath you and you can just run through everything. Best trick in the game. Unfortunately, we never use it in the run.
Yeah, because we both skip Rooster and Boomerang.
We'll find some sort of new category that requires it.
Boomerang percent or something, we don't know.
Boomerang and Rooster percent. No bomb trigger percent.
Teach also performing a perfect lava jump right here.
Oh, an excellent hothead fight too.
Oh my god, these runners, like that's the reason why both of these runners have sub 53 pace on the leaderboards. Just they're performing so consistently, so well. It's just amazing. Vlack still being on World Recce race pace, so race World Recce pace. So although World Recce race pace sounds kind of funny. Nevertheless, Vlack being a bit ahead, probably by 40 to 50 seconds, still can easily... Windfish Egg can easily turn that around.
Yeah, there are so many different things in the Windfish Egg that could mess either player up. Missing the text skip, missing the blob quick kill, Aghanim, and Deathel, all different things that could mess them up. Or god forbid they should miss the Moldorm quick kill.
Oh man. It happened. Didn't that happen to Dragon? Earlier?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Like it's a somewhat precise quick kill to set up. That's actually interesting. Oh, T skipped the bombs also. Okay. So actually Black being on a higher bomb count than Teach right now. This is interesting.
Not that it matters too much. At the point they're at, they only need one more bomb trigger.
You want to have like some, I think 4 or 5 bombs entering the Windfish egg to perform the one bomb trigger. We're just gonna see on vlackSR screen, he's gonna mash bombs and getting the text skip. That's very important. There's a series of really long and annoying text boxes entering the fight, and you can skip them with that one bomb trigger.
Also, just quick shoutouts to you for the bomb RNG manipulation in the egg. I think that's what got you the victory.
The bomb manipulation? Oh, you mean while entering the egg on the screens there?
Going through the maze.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the screen TGH is on right now, it's actually the exact same screen repeated. It's just, once you've gone through the transitions in the correct order, it will put you through to the next screen.
Yeah, you can have some bombs with, you can have some fun with dropping bombs there. And we can see Vlack having 1 blue ball so far, so let's gonna see how Aga treats him in the 4th cycle. 1 blue ball total, that's really good for Vlack, so... let's see how Teach does here, getting the tech skip. Not getting blob quick kill, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he was lined up just fine for that, but it's still RNG whether or not it works.
Shoutouts to Global Frame Roll. Black finishing off Ganon and the 5th phase Lanmola. Once again, we don't see him.
Yeah, and Vlack heading on to the final phase while TGH is still on Aghanim. So at this rate, Vlack is almost definitely going to win, but who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, so let's see how his Devil RNG goes. Still being on World Reiki pace though.
And Vlack wasting some arrows that he can actually afford, but we have to hope TGH doesn't.
Yeah, he can definitely afford those. Having a bit trouble there, but going in his final hit on Devil. This is not going to be PB. Maybe it's going to be a Race World Reiki.
It is a race PB for him. His time's already on SRL, and I'll wait for the white screen. But Vlack has won with a time of 54:04.
54:04, so
which
it's
is
like
what,
only
3 seconds behind race PB.
Yeah.
Or race world record.
Yeah, that's just the time Teach got in his last run. And let's see how Devil treats TGH right here. Race world record is a 54:01. That's exactly the time Teach got in his last race. Just broke his own, no, just tied his own race world record.
Oh shit.
Oh,
He just wasted an
that's
arrow.
unfortunate. That's really, really unfortunate right there. So he's gonna have bomb strats right there. That's what you gotta do if you go with those. Oh, only 2 bombs.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be a tough one. This is
Yeah, so
definitely
he's trying to
gonna be a
get
tough
Ethel
one.
back into that corner there.
Oh,
But-
Jesus. Oh my
no.
god, picking
And
up
he
the
has
bomb
to pick
again.
up that bomb again because it'll oh no.
Oh,
Well.
that's GG. So, now we can run with Devil or just die. Okay.
Yeah.
SRL already reveals it. Teach forfeited this race. Because he Teach playing super offensively, going into the Devil fight with only 16 arrows, and he missed 1 arrow, and that did put him into a very, very bad spot. And as he saw on SRL chat, that vlackSR already did finish. He forfeited the race, which isn't actually too bad at this part of the run. And yeah, shout out vlackSR, GG, great job getting back into the race, getting back into the run, and finishing this the second of 3 matches with a win. So it's 1-1 between Teach and vlackSR right now. Which means we're gonna have a 4th match tonight. And I think this also means we're gonna have another commentary switch right here. I guess it's gonna go back to Crunchy again, who's been also so kind to commentate on the first match of this
Actually,
evening.
Crunchy said that his people he lives with are being pretty loud, so he's not going to be able to do the commentary. So I'm going to stay on in his place.
Oh,
But
thank you so
we
much,
are going to
Spice
get
Father.
Cravone coming in to replace Bamboo.
The legendary Craft 1 coming in for us.
The legendary, the original Cravone, master of the anglerfish.
Oh yeah, and the creator of the Craft 1 ROM hack. So yeah, once again, shoutouts to vlackSR and Teach for doing a really nice show here. I mean, that was high risk, high reward sometimes, but also sometimes low reward. And as you saw on TGH with his rooster skip, it really is the game breaking glitch / trick in this run, but can also go very badly and lose you a whole minute. So that's how it is. And that's what we love about the game, but it's also what we hate about the game.
Yep. Anyway, the runners are currently having a quick bathroom break, which I'm going to do as well before the race. But before I go, just want to say thanks to Bamboo for commentary here. Thanks for you and all the other administrators for putting together the tournament. And thanks for all the racers for participating. And now I'm gonna go pee.
Alrighty. So, let's see if we got our boy Cravone already set up for the final match of this whole tourney and also of tonight.
Oh.
Yo, Cravone, good evening, man.
Man, I can't believe the last 2 races. I can't believe how close your race was as well. But man, these last 2 races have sort of just shown why we have a best of 3.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Teach failing the rooster skip right now in this race.
And then I think
Black having the trouble with the controller, whatever it was.
Like, even this could have been decided by RNG as well, even if TGH hadn't messed up Rooster Skip. And
yeah.
Even then, he ran out of arrows.
I mean, he was doing the super risky strats in Dungeon 8 where he skipped the arrow and bomb refill, and that only saves about 3 seconds, but still, he knew he had some catching up to do after failing Rooster Skip twice.
Yeah, I saw someone mention in chat, like, halfway through that, asking, well, do they not have the other person's stream up or race stream? And yes, TGH does have the stream. That's how he knew he was behind. That's why he knew he had to make up.
Yeah, but nevertheless, both runners know they have to play top notch here. They have to go all in. And it's what they're used to do, you know, like they have a sub 53 they have a 53 PB, and that is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, you see both these runners are separated by 1 second on the leaderboard. That doesn't come without just massive optimization.
Yeah, that's one thing, massive optimization, also perfect execution, which just comes by a lot of practice and just a ton of attempts, which both of our runners have.
For world record at the moment, they need absolutely perfect RNG, and they need to be pulling out the risky strategies.
Oh yeah. It just has to be the run.
Mm-hmm. I think we said this when Henke got world record, that whoever gets world record next has got to get absolutely perfect RNG, perfect execution. TGH did that, and now Black's 1 second behind. He has to get even more perfect RNG and execution.
Yeah, it's really brutal. Like, come to think that you're finishing 1 second behind world record. You know, like, if you finish that run, on one hand, you're super hyped that you like finished 2 seconds behind, or 1 second in our case, behind world record. On the other hand, you're like, oh my god, I could have saved just 2 seconds there or there or there. And you know, there have been tons of spots where you did like very minor mistakes, but they all add up in the end. And it's just like going for sub 53 or going for world record, it's an insane job to do. This game, it looks cute and fun and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still quite the task to go for such a great pace, to go so low in finishing this game.
I think with your race with Dragon, I don't think Dragon did obstacle skips, and you know what's really funny? That would have made the difference in the race.
That could have made the difference in the race.
As trivial as obstacle skip.
Could, of course, also other parts, but yeah, like, that's the thing.
Yes.
You know, it's like very minor optimizations. But again, obstacle skip it's high risk, low reward, you know.
If you had failed on obstacle skip, then Dragon still would have won. It's that close.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't, like, there's really the level of optimization in this game. It knows probably no boundaries. The question is just how far you want to go, you know. Like, the latest thing is the new mushroom route, which both runners will attempt again, I guess, where you pick up the mushroom and do some mushroom pit walks and turn it in with the witch instead of doing the trendy game. So that's some rather new strat, but it's riskier, saves 5 seconds, but you got 2 potential soft locks right at the start, right off the bat. So
I think a thing that's quite important to mention is that TGH's world record was before that strategy was found, and he said in the past that he's not going to grind out world record again unless Vlack beats him.
Yeah, and I can definitely see why. You know, like, still, like, I cannot stretch this enough. You know, going for sub 53 it's quite the task. You know, you gotta grind so much, you gotta practice so much, and even if you're having the run, you know, you can end up on the final boss, and it's just up. You know, it's up to RNG whether you make it or not. And yeah, once again, this is also a reason why we're having best of 3 tonight. This is the 3rd round between TGH versus vlackSR. We're having round 1 won by TGH. Round 2 was won by vlackSR. So we're up for the 3rd round for the absolute overall final match of LEDX Tourney 2017. And yeah, my name was Bamboo Shadow. I'm gonna sign off and leave it over to Craft1, to the legendary Cravone and Spice Father. So you guys gonna have a good night, and I'll see you later.
See ya.
Alrighty, and I'm back here, and looks like the racers are just getting ready to start up. So there'll only be another minute, and then we'll be off for the final race of our tournament. And I was hoping that it's a flawless performance from both of them, because both of them, it was kind of disappointing to see them separate whatever they did.
I think it'll be a real shame if we don't get a 53 in this tournament. I felt TGH was definitely going to get it that time if it weren't for Rooster Skip. In fact, Vlack would have got it if it weren't for Goomba Surf, so... There's a little bit of confusion at the moment on which SRL room is going to be used.
Yep. For anyone who's learning, like myself, you can do a rematch in an SRL race and just keep using the same room. So, just be a minute. Not sure if Fiesel's ready for the next race as well. Okay, there's Fiesel. So we'll be starting up very, very shortly.
So, just a reminder, TGH is the world record holder with a 52.44, and Vlack is in second place with a 52.45. This could be anyone's. Like, this could go either way. Any small bit of RNG could make a difference.
Yeah, like, TGH did fail Rooster Skip twice in the last race, but neither of those were his fault. That was RNG screwing him over. Whether it be RNG in the form of actual RNG or sub-pixels or what have you. But there are just so many ways the game can screw you over, and that's one of the biggest ones. And we're about to start just as soon as Fiesel gets out of the race. And here we go. 10 seconds.
That's what we see in the SRL chat.
And yet Vlack is resetting. And they're probably off. Yeah, it's weird. The delay on our stream here is a little bit... like the previous races have been spot on, but it's a bit delayed this time. Also, this random comment that they're both named P.
I think that's probably just the first character that's there.
Actually, I think it's a smiley face, is what they're going for. Alright, here we go.
Well, let's start.
So Fiesel will fix up that delay very, very shortly, but welcome to the final match of the 2017 Link's Awakening DX No Save and Quit tournament. Brought to you by TGH and vlackSR, the top two on our leaderboards.
I think we all sort of knew TGH was going to get to the final. And I think the only question in this tournament was whether it was going to be Vlack or Bamboo in the final.
Yeah, I actually... like, the tournament's arranged on challenge, and for my prediction bracket, I actually have Vlack as winning the tournament. With absolutely no disrespect to TGH, just because I've seen Vlack, he's been playing so much lately, like practicing so much, that I think he's got what it takes. If anyone can beat TGH, it's him.
I had TGH as my prediction, but that was before Vlack started streaming like 12 hours at a time. Just like he's grinding for this world record. He's gonna get it soon.
Yeah, like for a couple weeks, I'd wake up every day, go to work, and he'd be streaming already for a couple hours, and then keep going for another 5 or 6 hours. So like, the fact that he's 1 second behind world record is because he's put a lot of work into the game.
That feel when you go to bed after watching someone stream and they're still live when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's TGH for me. Since that guy is probably the worst sleep schedule I've ever seen.
So, both neck and neck going into the forest.
And Vlack taking a slick damage boost there off the moblin. Totally calculated.
So, I
Vlack
don't think-
seemed to just pause there for a moment.
I think it was lining up. I don't think we've seen a 100% perfect Moblin skip yet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that because, I mean, it's technically a 1 in 4 chance, but actually, there you go.
Wow, so
TGH.
TGH just getting in there. I love how Vlack just never resets this room. He always finds some way of making it work for him.
Yep, but they both managed owl skip, no problem. It is a frame perfect input there. You have to open the chest, and then on the very next frame, open either your inventory or the save and quit menu.
So, these are the only races we could have where both runners actually get the mushroom, since these are the only 2 runners that actually do that strat. I'm surprised not many more do it.
Yeah, it's kind of nice having them going up against each other, because if they race other people for the first, 10 minutes of the race, they are massively desynchronized. Like, their times are the same, but because of their different routes, they're not in the same places. So you can see, exactly how they line up with one another. And TGH accidentally talking to the shopkeeper. As Vlack did there, you can just save and quit there and instantly buy the item.
So, Vlack making absolutely no change to his 1 set of bombs. Same with TGH and his 2 set of bombs.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they'll change anything about their strategies, given how the last one finished, especially for TGH. For anyone who missed the last race, the final boss requires 16 arrows to beat, and TGH went into it with exactly 16 arrows, and unfortunately missed 1 or 2.
I have a feeling that he's gonna get the extra 78. I have a feeling Vlack won't.
Oh, Vlack having a little trouble with that.
Wow, okay,
Buzzy
so
beetle.
he's not going to be able to do the exo boost, and he has to be careful this mini Moldon that's going to be sort of in the next 2 rooms.
I think he was going for that damage boost off of the spark there, and he realized last moment that he's gonna die if he tries. That would be a really crappy way to start off a run. But apart from that trouble, it's super clean D1 from both of them.
So, the reason why... We didn't even get those arts. The reason why he had issues there is that he doesn't actually use a sword in Dungeon 1, except for on Moldorm. Which means that he can't actually hit the hard hat into the pit in the second room. So he has to sort of dance around it.
Also, I wasn't watching this TGH side, but I heard the sound and he actually fell into the pit there. Which is kind of unfortunate and allowed Vlack to catch up a little bit. But at the very least, he didn't die. I'm also a little disappointed in the lack of chest turns.
You won't disclude if you want chest turns.
I've seen Teach do it as well.
Disclude once spent an hour practicing the chest turn in the first chest in Dungeon 2. Like, no joke. So...
Man, that sync.
It's crazy to see someone complete this dungeon in under 7 minutes, but they're in 640, even though they have the mushroom. Seeing there's a question in chat about the hardest dungeon for speedruns. I want to say Dungeon 5. is generally thought to be the hardest for most runners.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's also the longest, so like any like slowness there, because you're there longer, it sort of compounds more.
I myself don't find it the hardest, but I think the majority of the community do.
Well, like I find most of the dungeons are pretty straightforward, but there are a couple of parts of D5 that like they still give me trouble where other dungeons don't.
What makes Dungeon 5 hard is not losing piece of power, let's be honest. That's what's hard about it, is not taking those 3 hits.
I'd say also Dumb Jump 2, and the boss of the dungeon can be pretty tricky. Especially just starting out, that boss is the worst one in the game. Even worse than Moldorm.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight execution when you do it in the speedrun.
Because for most people starting out, you may not necessarily know how the boss works, or you're just, like you'll stay to one side and wait for the head, and, you know, without knowing, like, the more reliable strategies, it's pretty hard to get it quickly.
Have we had the quad in that room in the Moblin Cave yet this tournament?
From today, no. From, I think it was maybe Bamboo or Dragon last week got it.
So, yeah, that room with 4 Moblins, if the stars align, you can actually kill them with 1 spin slash, and that actually saves quite a bit of time.
And if it happens, you'll get, like, maximum hype from everybody. Like,
Yeah, that's like triple obstacle, well, double obstacle skip, I guess.
except it's not, like, there's no way to make it consistent apart from maybe just
It's
going back out and entering until you get it.
It's just luck.
But that would be dedication.
It's taking advantage of the RNG that's given to you.
Mm.
And
And once again, Black is
Black
getting
getting it again.
not the best RNG.
So, something I've noticed with Bow Wow there is that he actually gives you worse RNG if you don't move. So I think that might be what's causing it for Black, as opposed to TGH. So, both runners actually got POP in exactly the right place. As you would sort of expect from these 2 runners.
Yep. And for anyone who hasn't been watching the previous races, Piece of Power increases your damage, it gives your sword knockback, and increases your speed by 25%. But you lose it if you leave the current dungeon, or if you take 3 hits from enemies. So, it's pretty useful to have as a speedrunning thing for the speed boost, obviously. And then there are also parts where the damage is super useful. And coming up on TGH's side is a bit of RNG that could give him a little bit of trouble. He has to kill these 3 enemies in a particular order, and you can only kill the bunny with a pot.
We got trolled by the Stealthers here, but otherwise perfect RNG.
Yeah, they both had a great room.
I mean, this is so close. Just the it's the small things that are going to make the difference, I feel, in this race.
Yeah, like, TGH could miss this jump right here and Vlack would catch up.
Like, I think short of anything like Rooster Skip, it's going to be the small bits that are going to make the big difference. Because they're just all going to add up.
So for this guy, anyone who's played casually knows you have to throw his pot against the wall 2 or 3 times, but by by wall clipping, we can smash it right away. And save like a million seconds or so. And TGH killed it a little bit high up, so he lost a couple of frames leaving the room.
That's quite annoying. The clip into that bottom wall near the instrument.
Yeah, like you really only have
So
a second
easy
or
to
two to
miss
get it. But man, this sync is just crazy. Like, it's exactly what you expect from two super experienced runners, but it's still amazing to watch. Even, like, this is the 4th race in a row. Not all of these two, but that I've watched tonight. And they've all been such super close races.
Yeah. Like, both of these runners in a race, I reckon they could get sub 53 even, if they had the right RNG. But that's the key, they need to have the right RNG to get a time like that in a race. And while they're certainly capable of sub 53 in their runs, they often have to reset at maybe 100 times to get the RNG in a run.
Yeah, like for anyone who's watched Vlack, and he probably has it up on his stream right now, but you can see his, like the attempts tried and the number of completed runs. He has like, what, 5,000 attempts? So that means he's reset 5,000 times to get where he is.
So, I think I missed Verskip. They look like they both had decent Verskips.
Yeah, TGH's I think was 2 or 3 buffer. Yeah, Bamboo's saying 3 buffer for TG and 7 for Vlack.
Oh, 7's
So
not
it's
that
still
great.
pretty good.
The
Better
problem
than
with
20.
yeah, I mean, the problem with Verskip is you don't realize how much time it actually loses when you first start running this game. It's actually 2 seconds per buffer, so it can make quite a big difference in the end, especially in how competitive these two runners are.
The nice thing about it, though, if we can call it nice, is that no matter how experienced you are, whether you're these guys or a complete newbie, the odds of succeeding on it are the same. Like, it's just pure RNG buffering frame by frame.
I think the one thing you can actually influence is how late you start buffering. And some runners like, I want to say TGH and Bamboo, tend to be really good at getting almost frame perfect on this. But then it still is up to, well, somewhat up to RNG frame rule. We like to call it the most RNG non-RNG trick in the game.
Yeah, like, I'm not 100% on this, but I think it's, like, on any given frame, it's a 1 in 4 chance. So, like, every 4th frame could be the right frame. But it's not frames of you buffering, it's every time you unpause, the frame that you unpause on has to be that 1 in 4 chance. And we know how the odds like to work in these games.
Just saw a question in chat, is there no Bow Wow run? There is actually a way of skipping Bow Wow, but it's so heavily RNG it's only really viable in a TAS.
Actually, are they asking no bow run? Because there is a no bow run.
Oh, a
the
no
current-
bow run.
The current any % route, I believe, doesn't do the shop anymore, so no bow. And it's only like less than 3 minutes. And I think that's 3 for 3 on TGH, messing up that bomb trigger there. Like as Bamboo had said in the last race is, you have to line up to the edge of the screen and then it's a frame perfect, like not really frame perfect, but you have to hit a diagonal right movement and bombs on the same frame. So like, if you press them even like within 1/60th of a second apart, then you're not going to get the bomb trigger. However, the one bomb trigger which is just coming up for TGH is the walrus skip, and this is, for someone of his experience, practically free.
I think this was a strat that was originally started used by Vlack of the top runners.
Yeah.
Same with the mushroom, and like Vlack has found so many time saves in this game. It's great for the game, but then it sort of shoots them in the foot when other runners use his strats.
Well, that's just speedrunning for you. If you find something that's faster and get a world record, then every other runner is going to learn from it.
The thing is, with this community that we're in, we're friends before we're competitors, to be honest. Like, if we find something, we're going to share it with the rest of the community. It's like, our goal is to get this world record down as low as possible, regardless of who does it.
Yeah, like, I mean, when I found a dongo skip, I could have leapfrogged a couple people, maybe, with those whole 20 seconds I'd save on it, but, like, you know, it's no fun hoarding the knowledge to yourself. It's great growing as a community. Like, even with the randomizer work, there are a lot of people who are finding out different things about it to help make it even better for Saver and Spearoster.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if, like, in the making of some of these, in the making of these randos, I'd be surprised if we don't find something that's able to be used in a speedrun.
Yeah, the one interesting thing I saw from Lacrimosa Angel recently, if you beat the D7 mini-boss and then jump up through the top door, you get some sort of weird warp where you like screen wrap a couple times. I'm not sure if the way that works is necessarily banned by our wrong warp rules, but who knows?
Which warp is that? Is that the Dungeon 7?
Yeah, like at the mini-boss, if you jump out the top door after winning.
That is technically not considered a wrong warp, but it's considered out of bounds.
Interesting. I don't know, our rules make
That's what I'm
sense.
told anyway. I don't honestly know why it's not a wrong warp. Like, you're going through that entrance and ending up somewhere different.
I think because it, like, in terms of the game, it's not technically a warp, because warps are going between, like, overworld and dungeon or cave, or dungeon and under or side scroller.
You don't see a fade to white when you're going through it. I think that would be it. So, TGH actually edging out quite a bit of a lead here. I want to say most of that was from Villa's skip, but I think his D3 was just quicker than Black's.
Like, at this point, both of them have been running for 2 hours. Over 2 hours, so...
This
like,
is as much a marathon as it is a race.
yeah. Like, some of the other randomizers, like, I know Super Metroid, they've done best of 3 split across different days. But we're not doing that here, so they have to do it all at once.
To be fair, with the showcase races, we did have 4 runners doing 3 in a row. I can't actually remember who won that showcase. I think it was Vlack. But again, there's so many places that this could be equalized. There's so many places TGH could lose time and Black could catch up. On the flip side, there's even places where Black could lose time and TGH could stretch out even more.
Yeah, like anything that's RNG can go both ways.
Like, I guess they're both gonna get D5 POP. By the looks of things.
Yeah, like, for both of them, like, I expect they always get D5 piece of power unless, like, when Black died in his first race, that reset his kill counter, but apart from that, I think they're pretty good about, like, feeling out what kills they should get or avoid. And there's TGH's, right on cue.
Okay, so what's TGH that won this showcase race?
Oh, but Flack doesn't get his piece of power.
Nope.
So he's gonna maybe kill a couple extra Stalfos in the next room in hopes of getting it.
I think he's one enemy late.
There it is.
Or more, yeah. That's still gonna cost him a bit of time.
Not too much. I mean, he only has to really walk through 2 rooms without it.
Yeah.
The underground portions, for whatever reason, you don't get that speed boost.
He got good Helmosaur RNG the second time around there.
Yeah, like, for his second race, that was one of the big things that lost him time, was just the Helmosaurs.
I mean, that's another small thing that, like, people always remember the horse heads, they remember Goomba Surf, they remember Acronym, all of this RNG. No one really remembers that Helmosaurs can lose you a lot of time as well, and just enemy movement in general. Like if a Moblin, like when we were talking about in the Bow Wow Cave with the 4 Moblins, if you get 4 all in the same place, that's good RNG. You're saving time that way. And
yeah, that's about like 3 seconds right there for sword charging.
Yep.
Yeah, for people asking about Rooster Skip, I believe that loses about 30 seconds if you fail it. But yeah, like, there's so much in the game outside of just RNG specific things.
And you might think, oh, why is everything RNG? Like, we're even talking about just every random enemy's RNG. It's because it is that close. This race could come that close, and these 2 runners are obviously separated by only a second in the leaderboards. Now, it's worth remembering, TGH was quite a bit ahead in the last race before we got to Rooster Skip as well. So, this is not in the bag for him just yet.
Yeah, like with these races, it's always down to the last second. Especially the last seconds, because the final boss has, like, so many cases where it can just decide it wants you to stay there a bit longer. And for chat, the race will probably end around 55 or 54 minutes. It would be spectacular to see a 53 or even a 52, but given like some of the RNG and whatever they've had so far, that's probably not likely. At least 52.
My prediction was that in the final we would see a double 53 race at some point. So, but for that prediction, they both need to get sub 54 in this.
Yeah, I guess these first two races were just de-rust. Because they haven't run the game for, like, at least a few days. So it's quite a bit of rust they have to get off right now.
Vlack's not had sleep.
It's been a few hours for Vlack, so he's pretty rusty. Vlack always likes to have fun with the wall snake there in the middle.
Yeah, this is likely to be both of their best runs of the...
And Wall Snake trolled Vlack with the bottom right there on the second one, but he still managed to take it. Evil D-Layer, this is actually a horrible game. I don't recommend anyone ever play it. It'll just make you cry. You're much better off playing the Crevone ROM hack, which is the original, better version of the game.
Oh god.
You can tell how bad it is because TGH streamed it for like 1 day, and it's still on his EverDrive, but he doesn't seem to want to touch it anymore.
He's quit.
He's smarter than I was.
You know how bad the game is when that ROM hack is being suggested. To be honest, this game is, in my opinion, one of the easier games to get into speedrunning. There's not too much like technical difficulty, and it's mostly just about getting things optimized. Really, it's not a difficult game to learn. It's a really difficult game to do at the sort of higher tier of runners.
Yeah, and for people asking about the original Link's Awakening, like, oh my god, is that game broken? Like, not to mention having pretty much every trick in this game as well, but it has, like, you can screen warp, so you can just, like, wrap from one side of a screen to another on the overworld, basically ignoring any obstacles.
Can also despawn basically any sprite, including bosses, with the fire rod.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, TGH messing up bootstraps a bit there. Not losing too much time from it though. Yeah, the Link's Awakening speedrun is substantially different from this, to be honest.
Yeah, there's also, like, the rules in place for them are not necessarily done by the exact same people, so while this category knows any percent no save and quit, no wrong warp, no out of bounds, is basically the main category for LADX. In the original LA, warpless is the main rule set they play by now, so it allows a lot more tricks that are specific to that game, and also cool things that, while they are in this game, we don't get to do because of our rule set. And if we're lucky, Vlack isn't going to get Piece of Power from this last Armos.
He has to be careful though. I think he's going to have to bow a minute here because he's on really low health. He can't afford to take a damage boost. So you can actually manipulate Bow Wow by how you enter the screen. And, while we can't really do it so much for the entry into Dungeon 2, we can use it in Armos Maze and with what he did there to get Bauer to eat the armor that was covering the staircase. So TGH getting piece of power really early in Dungeon A is basically exactly where he wants to get it.
Yeah, I think the first race he did, and also this one, like he's gone it the exact place he wants. Unfortunately, none for Vlack. I'm not sure if he really tries to root it in, but it's always nice to have the extra speed.
Did Vlack fall on Zorlek's pit?
He did once.
Yeah.
I'm going for that heart just to be safe. There are things in this dungeon that, like, you typically wouldn't get hit, but it's still not smart to be walking around with one heart when that's one hit away from death. The tile room that TGH just passed through, you basically get invincibility for the room, but if those tiles hit you, they do one whole heart of damage. Oh shit. And TGH missed the quick kill on that last whiz robe.
Actually, the tiles only do half a heart of damage in this room. The only reason why on the boss they do 1 heart of damage is because it's a boss room, and the tiles are actually coded differently for that boss.
Vlack's not even gonna bother with a piece of power there. He probably would have saved time if he'd grabbed it, because I mean, you have to basically be walking for 4 seconds to save time by grabbing it. But he just didn't want to lose his momentum of everything. Also, I didn't count, but was that a first try horse head?
I was watching Vlack, unfortunately.
Same here. It just looked like he got through there really quick.
Yeah, let's not talk about long horse heads in chat.
But there we go.
Well, so Vlack getting the first try as well. There's someone present who has the unenviable world record of having the most horse heads ever.
Oh, please allow me to introduce this person. Everybody, commentating with me is Cravone, holder of the 33 try horsehead world record from just last, was that on Saturday you got that?
Yeah, I was in the rando as well.
So guys, you got royalty commentating.
I guess that's another place to shout me out. As well as the rest of the entire run.
To be fair, it's better to be like shouted out for something out of your control than to be shouted out for the boss in the next dungeon we'll be seeing.
Yeah, that's gonna happen, isn't it?
I'll try to be nice.
So Vlack's actually really caught up here. I don't know how it looks like he's made up quite a bit of time in the dungeon. I couldn't really see where though.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, he didn't have a piece of power. But I guess just... Actually, he does that weird super jump after the boss key where he bonks into the wall and then uses the screen shake to bounce out. I don't know how much that saves, but something. Also, yeah, Bamboo dying to the bottle. LOL.
That's that's one I didn't do.
Yeah, anyone who does that needs to sharpen up.
That wasn't even Bamboo, that was Dragon.
No, that was Bamboo at GTQ.
Oh, but did he actually die? I think he died to the genie, not the bottle itself. Dragon died to the actual bottle.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Like the bottle jumped into him and he died.
I always like going for the new... Not even a strategy, because it doesn't save any time, but like... I think the first, the fourth, and the fifth fireball are like the first and the fifth will never hurt you, and the fourth usually doesn't. So I like just stand there and take it, because you won't take any damage. So yeah, the way that Vlack is going to do his boss is a little bit different and slower, but he does it that way because he doesn't have as many bombs as TGH.
I'd argue that he just wants to avoid pulling a Corone on this boss. He doesn't use bomb arrows.
Also, shows to Corvone for finding out that you can in fact hookshot downwards if you
Yeah,
break
well.
your D-pad in two.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that in runs, by the way. So they do the fight out of order because we don't want the ghost to spawn, and the trigger point for the ghost not to spawn is getting the level 2 braces. So we exit dungeon 4 early, we go and do dungeon 5 and 6, and obviously we get the level 2 brace in dungeon 6, so that stops the ghost spawning. And then we're free to go to dungeon 4 after that, because that's the quickest time to go there.
Yeah. I was also curious about earlier whether or not Red Tunic prevents it, but it doesn't. So I was thinking like Red Tunic and Piece of Power prevent like the text when you walk into a rock and it's like, oh, it's such a heavy cup, I can't pick it up. If you have either of the items, it won't pop up the text. So I was curious if they also prevent the ghost thing.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know about Red Tunic. Piece of Power is not consistent enough, though, to use
Yeah, I
it.
tested Red Tunic and it doesn't work. Oh, jeez, TGH.
Oh,
TGH fell in the pit again. So that's 30 seconds
it-
gone for him, and
It took
Vlack
him
is
quite
now
a
in the
while
lead.
to get the first jump as well.
I mean, it's not the worst thing because... Oh, Vlack fell in as well. Go. This is
Yeah,
why nobody likes Rooster Skip. But at least if Vlack doesn't fail the second time,
Okay, so
it sort of stays the same.
TGH getting double first, he's on the second try. Considering what happened to Vlack, I think it would take that. So what happened with Vlack there is that he was actually too low on his second jump because he uses a way that uses 3 jumps. So he wants to be up against that top wall after the first jump. And I think that threw him off the first time.
Yeah,
So
I
he
think,
gets it quite quickly.
I think between like the buffers and whatever, Vlack may have made up a little bit of time there. But TGH is still a good deal in the lead. And if anybody... Sorry, but if anyone wants practice on Rooster Skip jumps, I suggest Corvone's ROM hack.
True.
It'll give you tons of practice.
But yeah, I think TJ's first jump in his first attempt took quite a while, and that's where Black might have saved time.
And also for chat is Rooster, as in the bird. The normal game, playing casually, requires you to revive a dead flying rooster and use it to fly over certain pits in order to get the bird key, and also some other areas in the game you can explore. But that requires you to get the ocarina, to farm up 300 rupees, and to get, like, go through a sign maze. It's just not worth it in a speed run, so we obviously don't do it when we can bomb trigger literally everything in the game. And by literally, I mean not literally, but bomb trigger is just break open so much of the game for us. Such as the current D7. Right here, the vanilla route is to collect a large iron ball and throw it at all of these pillars. But you can imagine how slow that is. So instead we bomb trigger all of them. We actually get to show off a couple different ways. They both did a pit bomb trigger where you mash the bomb button, I think within 4 frames over a pit. Or you can do it on a transition by pressing the direction and bomb on the same frame, as Vlack just did there. And TGH is now on Goomba Surf, which is the best. Oh no, he lost his direction. Oh. Okay. I was worried he wouldn't get that because that super jump is actually pixel perfect, and there are only a few frames where you can get through quickly. But luckily he's able to use his boots to get out of the soft, or not soft lock, but the lock. And the prize for winning is being the coolest person in our community. So we'll see who that is.
The prize for winning is SRL points, let's be honest.
Unfortunately, they're getting them in the wrong category, because only rando counts now.
That is true.
Crunchy, you better believe that's a prize. Don't you know you can go to any store in North America with your SRL points and tell them you have SRL points, and they'll tell you to get the hell out?
You can redeem SRL points for real money.
Yeah, just sell your account.
Just go to a bank, say, look, I've got 800 SRL points in LADX, no saving for it, 1 more per hour bounds. Can I have $800?
I wish I knew that when I was in the bank recently. I would have taken all of my SRL points with me.
I think the ratio is 1 point per $1.
Oh, Teach just... maybe not. I thought he'd mismenued there, but it was still fine.
I think if these runners mismenu, they tend to be able to work out they mismenu quite quickly and are able to fix it, because every runner has their own menuing system, and
except GT, of course.
Well, I don't as well. I just wing it.
But yeah, like most runners, when you get up to the sub, probably 58, maybe sub 1 hour, everyone has like a certain route they do for their menu, so every time they open up their menu, they know exactly what buttons to press to get the items they need. And sometimes they'll just go straight for the items. Some people, like TGH included, I'm not sure about Vlack, but they'll reorganize their menus while they're doing it so that subsequent menus are more optimized.
Yeah, I don't know if Vlack reorganizes, because he's found a lot of these sort of menu saves here and there.
Yeah, the worst case of optimization for menu is TAS, because like trying to save a single frame on your menus by like planning 20 menus ahead, pain in the butt.
Wow. And I thought thinking, well, one menu saves 2 seconds was bad enough.
Save the frames.
I thought of something that would be quite an amusing reward. We could find one of the frames that they saved, picture frame it, and then give it to them.
Well, it's gonna have to be a subframe.
Yeah. Subframes do exist.
For the person asking about link to past randomizer, streamers are not allowed to watch other people or have input from chat, because obviously that's an unfair advantage.
That's true for all randomizers, by the way.
Yeah, like, there was recently the Super Metroid randomizer where Zost, who I believe is the world record holder in the main category of that, he was disqualified for a match because somebody in his chat, not that he even saw it, but he had his chat open, I think, and somebody posted it. He wasn't looking at it, but he was still disqualified. And, Return of Cue Ball, because reasons. Actually, D8 has, 4 different mini-boss reprisals. There's ones from 1, 3, 4... Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
There's Dodongos, there's Cue Ball, there's Rolling Bones, there's the Smasher.
There's Hinox.
Enox. I think that's it. 5.
But yeah, like, this is basically mini-bosses, the dungeon. Unless you speedrun, in which case it's 1 mini-boss. And Blano. Oh. Nice from TGH getting the frame-perfect Jesus jump.
The dog is a Smasher.
So, having beaten Hothead, TGH will now be heading to Windfish Egg to finish off his run, just as Vlack is heading into Hothead. So there's like so much RNG coming up that even though TGH is a little bit ahead here, Vlack can so easily catch up if the game is mean to TGH. And for people saying that Magic Rod is busted, like, you should play original LA or watch speedruns of that, because you can literally just erase everything in a room with Magic Rod before you even enter. Like, this is hardly even broken by comparison.
So, I wonder if we're actually going to see a 53 here. Because both of them failed on Rooster Skip.
I don't know, TGH has had...
He could
I guess
do it.
Goombas were pretty bad. Maybe he could get it?
He could get it by like 1 or 2 seconds. I think Lack at this point is basically relying on RNG on TGH's part to be bad, and for RNG on his part to be good.
Yeah, everyone, Magic Rod shoots magic, and you set things on magic to defeat them. So don't call it Fire Rod.
Yeah, setting things on magic is not the same as setting things on fire.
Yeah, that's why you can use the Magic Rod on Anglerfish underwater, because it's setting him on magic, not setting him on fire.
Like,
Because
torches in Dungeon 2, you use magic powder, you don't use a match.
yeah, Link doesn't even know what a match is.
So, TJ's getting death or tech skip. Let's see if he gets the quick kill. Now, I think the
nice.
big thing we're going to be looking at here is going to be Aghanim and Deathel. Now, every blue ball that they get on Aghanim is worth 8 seconds of time loss. So, for this to even up, we would need TGH to get about 3 blue balls.
Unfortunately, Vlack missed the quick kill on the blob.
So, yeah, that's actually RNG.
Yeah, like, the setup for it is perfectly consistent, but even with that, I don't know, the game's just silly and it can screw you. And with Agnum, the first 2 are always round balls, the second 2 have 50-50 chance of being round ball or a blue ball. So there's Vlack's second round ball, so now he's in blue ball territory.
TGH got no blue balls.
Oh no.
He could get race world record here.
Yep, we've actually got TGH's time in on SRL already because of the delay.
Oh, you spoiled it.
But we'll wait to tell you, because you don't know how much delay there is. Did he get 5?
But
Is he getting 5s?
he did. I think he said somewhere that he's able to do 5s. Actually, yeah, I think he posted in Discord today. I think it was they actually managed to get 5.
Yeah.
So, well, TGH's 2017 LADX no save and quit, no wrong, no out of bounds champion.
Oh man, with a sick race world record. His finishing time is 53:36, beating his time from the previous one by 25 seconds.
That is staggering.
Wait, he finished the one with 54:01? Or was that Vlack's time last one?
I think the well, you're probably referring to the PBs on the thing. I think that's not been updated yet.
Yeah, because it says his previous personal best on SRL was 56:21, which obviously is not true.
So, Vlack ending with 54:33. To put that into perspective, TGH, if you had first try Rooster Skip, and he had not been trolled by Goomba, could have gone sub 53 with this race.
Alright, so I'm just checking with the guys if they want to come into commentary for a bit of a post-tournament interview. I'm not sure if Vlack will, because up to this point he hasn't opted to come in for any of the races. But we'll see if he'll do it for the finals. But yeah, like, congratulations to both of them. Like, even with Vlack losing, he had amazing times.
I mean, there's so few runners in this game that can do 55 even with doing reset runs. Sub 55 even with reset runs. So, it looks like TGH is ready. So, drag him in. So, congratulations on winning the tournament.
Thank you. That was quite a battle. That was
I'd imagine
exhausting.
Quite tiring after 3
Yeah,
races.
it is. It definitely is.
And
Yeah.
It's one thing to do 3 runs back to back to back when it doesn't mean anything, but this was a different story. This was very
Yeah,
mentally exhausting.
All 3 of those were like incredible runs, apart from Rooster Skip.
Yeah,
Like, everything else was so tight.
yeah. The frame rules on Rooster Skip were kind of nasty,
Yeah.
but that just goes to show, like, if you're not 100% sharp, you know, that's how it can go sometimes in the game. sometimes just doesn't have any mercy, especially on Rooster Skip.
Well, that last race, Vlack also had a fall to Rooster Skip.
I saw. Yeah, I admit I had the race up, like I was watching it, so I could compare where we were. But yeah, I saw that as well.
So if you had it open, you saw what happened in the first race, Tim, in D4.
I didn't see what happened, but I heard about it. Something about the cross jump in D4.
Yeah, we're not sure if it was like a controller issue or he was just like out of sorts, but he ended up, I think he was at 5 or 6 hearts, and he ended up dying there twice.
That could have been. I feel like that might have been. Having not seen it, I feel like that might have been because he wasn't clipped into the wall, maybe.
No, he re-clipped multiple times.
Really?
Some people are thinking maybe like ghost inputs for diagonals, but yeah, it really sucks.
That's interesting.
The thing is, to die there twice,
yeah, that's not
you
Black.
have to fall a lot of times.
That's not Black at all. That's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, apart from that, like, everything else between both of you was, as I said, super tight. Like, both of you had amazing execution on everything. Just RNG, I guess, wanted you to win.
I saw both of us. I happened to glance over. I think when I was done with D6, I happened to be able to glance over and saw Vlack also got first try horse heads. I was like, damn. But yeah, that must have been a really fun race to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like after the horse heads, I kind of joked that maybe Bamboo sent his card over to you so you could have the first try horse heads every time.
Yeah, thanks Bamboo. Thanks, shout outs to Bamboo for loaning me his cart.
So, what about the second race then?
The second race, well, yeah, that was the second race was arguably my best executed race, to be honest with you. I mean, with the exception of Rooster Skip onward, just because, well, I think the first time on Rooster Skip, the game gave me one chance to get the jump off, and then it just said nope, and then it just, I think on the second jump, it gave me one chance, and then no more, and then the second time Bow Wow got my way, and I couldn't recover from that, but, and then, yeah, the end of that race, I just decided, you know what, screw it. I know I'm way behind. I'm gonna try and make up every bit of time I can, and I skipped the pickup in D8, which I do in PB attempts, but usually never in races, and did the P-Hat room, which is a fun little room, and I'm sad that I'm not really able to do that in races. I can't justify it, but but yeah, and then 16 arrows on Death Hole, that was, it was probably a mistake in the longer, but I felt like I kind of had to do it.
Yeah, we had questions in chat, like wondering if the runners had the other person's run open, and like I think it's good proof that you did have it open, that you went with the risky arrow routing.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have done it if I didn't know where I was. But
you know what would have been good? Seeing you actually kill it with bombs.
Oh, that would have
been fun.
That would have been a personal victory. But I've done it before in a marathon, but I don't think I've ever done it in a race, because I've never really had the opportunity to.
Yeah, like I saw you trying to retrieve your bombs after you threw them.
Yeah,
they weren't timed right.
It's funny because I don't know how I got so few bombs. I usually have more than 2, even with the skipped pickup, but whatever. I used an extra one somewhere, or maybe I just used a bunch on the bomb trigger coming into the boss.
Yeah, that or maybe D7 pit triggers.
Yeah. I don't think as much as it was maybe the trigger dropping into the final boss. I used quite a bit. Like 5 or 6 maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. So the people in chat were asking what's the reward for winning this tournament, and I told them that it's getting to be the coolest person in our community.
$100 million, I hope.
No, just being cool.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
See, my suggestion was that we find one of the frames that you save, and we picture frame it so that you've got a subframe.
Yo, perfect. Obviously, I'm joking. But this tournament, you know, I have a special sentimental value for this tournament. Like personally, because the last tournament that we did was really the thing that got me into LADX in the first place, and it was the thing that made me want to grind the game. And it turned out well in the end, based on the leaderboards. But yeah, it's you know, this tournament kind of held the same sort of value to me, and maybe somebody else who's in this tournament who started, and you know, maybe they got knocked out early, but maybe that person will be in the same shoes soon. So it's good to think about. It's really good for growth of the community.
We had a lot of newer runners in the first stages, and I'm sure some of them will continue speedrunning this game.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's great seeing also like some of the newer runners, like just in particular Final Flame, White Wolfos, and Crunchy. They all did a great job on doing commentary, despite arguably having less experience than a lot of the other people, but they still did a great job with commentary.
For sure, absolutely. And yeah, like that goes for everybody as well who's involved with the tournament. Of course, Bamboo, Spearster, of course, Feasel, and everybody else who's involved, the commentators, the competitors. Thank you guys for putting on another really good tournament.
Yeah, Bamboo gave some big thanks to Feasel earlier on, and I think it's only right to just echo that again. That it was that we're so grateful that we could have this hosted on Speed Gaming.
It's pretty awesome, absolutely.
Yeah, like I'm amazed that Feasel's able to coordinate all the streams that he does with 4 different channels, and just many thanks to him for putting in the time to make this tournament work out. So, I guess we're wrapping up here a bit. Do you have any final comments, Tej?
I think I pretty much got them all out. But again, I appreciate everything and everyone involved in the tournament. Thank you guys very much. And GG as well, especially to Vlack for putting up such a good battle, and for giving me such a good battle. That was that was a lot of fun.
And one other congratulations to Disclude for being the winner of the bracket predictions. So you win being the second coolest person in the community.
Thanks for having faith in me, Clued.
Actually, third after Vlack. Honestly, like I had Vlack to win because he's been practicing this so much lately, but like seeing how well both of you played, I can't be upset.
I think, like, with both of you being as close as you are, in a race, it will always come down to some form of RNG, I feel. Because you two are just so close to each other in terms of time.
He's gonna get world record, I think. I really think he is. I wholeheartedly believe that he is going to. And soon at that.
He had it once, and then you took it away, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was back when this route was pretty far from optimized, I think.
That was just back in March or April of this year, I think.
Yeah, it was sometime before. Actually,
it was just
sometime
after
before
the
SGDQ.
skip.
The Dongo skip and the adaptation of the horse heads into the route as well.
There was a time earlier this year where the time between world record and third place was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So anyway, I guess wrapping things up fully here. Again, many thanks to everyone who participated, who helped out, and for Fiesel, and thanks to all the viewers for tuning in and watching these races. So coming up on Speed Gaming at 7:30 on this same channel, we have Link to the Past Randomizer, and then we'll have that on Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 3 later in the night, and Earthbound at 11 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. So, once more, I'm Spice Father. I had Cravone on commentary with me this time, and Crunchy, Lex, Final Flame, and Bamboo commentating earlier. And, yeah. Thanks for watching, and have a good night, everybody.